which continues on a glorious day here at Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida, the 26th Outback Bowl. Representing the Big Ten, the team with the best conference record this season, 10-3 from East Lansing, the Michigan State Spartans. No team has won more Big Ten games the last 2 seasons than the Spartans. They beat their arch rivals from Ann Arbor for the 4th consecutive year. And Kirk Cousins and company authored one of the magic moments of the 2011 college football season, the answered Hail Mary against Wisconsin. And they capped their season against the Georgia Bulldogs, who rallied from an 0-2 start to win 10 consecutive games. The Dogs doing it with dominating defense and explosive offense, taking them to the SEC championship game. And Mark Richt's winners of the SEC East trying to cap this come-from-behind season with one last victory and a potential springboard to a high ranking in 2012. We welcome you to 2012 Outback Bowl here on ABC. Mike Tirico, along with the guy who coached the best team this city's ever seen in the stadium. John Gruden coached the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. Let's talk about these two teams, and let's start with Georgia. Aaron Murray is a quarterback who not a lot of people are talking about with the elites yet, but they will. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
I think he's a future Heisman Trophy candidate. This young man's thrown for 57 touchdowns in just 2 years as a starter, and he's from right here in Tampa, Florida. He'd like nothing better than to come home today and deliver Georgia their 11th victory. And he's got a cast of young receivers that can go get the football. Aaron Murray has done nothing but get better and better in his 2 years in Athens, Georgia, and he'll be tested today by a very good Michigan State defense.
And a lot of pressure, a lot of tickets required from Murray and Orson Charles, outstanding tight end. They both went to the same high school 3 miles from here. Let's spin it over to Michigan State. What a turnaround it's been. The culture has changed in East Lansing, large part because of a senior class that John plays its final game here today, and they're led by their quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Well, Kirk Cousins, the winningest quarterback in Michigan State history. He's beaten Michigan 4 times, 3-time team captain. Intangibles are off the charts. But what I like the most about Cousins is this kid can play. He can throw the ball off his back foot. He's got a lot of really good, talented receivers. B.J. Cunningham, number 3, the all-time leading Spartan receiver. Cousins is a winner. The only thing he hasn't won is a bowl game, and today gives him that opportunity. But this young man is starving to go out a winner today with the Spartans.
2 really good quarterbacks, 2 really good defenses. Think we have a good one. The Big Ten and the SEC. 2012 Outback Bowl coming up next. Michigan State, Georgia, here on ABC.
Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Right there! Let's go!
Back in Tampa, the 26th playing of the Outback Bowl. 17 years, Outback has been the sponsor of this bowl game, the longest continuous run of a sponsor and a bowl played here at Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Time for the coin toss. That honor going to the longtime CEO, now chairman of the board of directors of OSI, the parent company for Outback Steakhouse, one of the great entrepreneurs in America, Bill Allen. He'll toss the coin, and our referee from Conference USA is Ed Ardito.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm Mr. Ardito. I'm the referee saying Mr. Ford is the umpire. Because I'm on the field, we'll call for a captain. Anytime, sir. Make yourself available, and I'll explain your options to you, okay? If you don't understand, ask me to explain it again, okay? Michigan State, you're the visiting team. You're the visitors. You're going to call the toss. Mr. Allen has the coin. Mr. Allen is the ex-chairman and CEO of Outback. The Outback symbol is the head. The helmets is the tail. Your call is going to be? Tails. He's going to call tails. Call is going to be tails. And we have a tail. Your choice is? We'll defer. You would like to defer to the second half. Michigan State has won the toss and has deferred to the second half. Georgia wants the ball. Which end? Okay. And Michigan.
So Aaron Murray, after that fine coin toss by Bill Allen, will see Aaron Murray and Georgia on the field first. We check in with our sideline reporter here at the Outback Bowl, Jen Brown. Hello, Jen.
Hello, Mike. Thanks so much. Well, I caught up with Kirk Cousins, Michigan State's quarterback, just moments ago and asked him what it felt like to put that Spartan uniform on one final time. And he said, Jen, it wasn't until I got to the stadium and I got in the locker room that I started to feel a sense of urgency. I looked around at all of my fellow seniors and realized all that we had gone through and really wanted to put a final stamp on winning a bowl game here today. Now, head coach Mark Richt for the Georgia Bulldogs told me that they're looking at this game not only as the last game for the 2011 season, but also as a springboard for the 2012 season, almost as if it's the first game for them of the 2012 season. Quarterback Aaron Murray told me that he feels great about their returning team for next season, and he thinks that they're going to be able to contend for a national championship, Mike.
Okay, Jen, it's a very common theme around this Georgia program. What's going to happen next year of a lot of players coming back? It's a little bit cooler than it was. Great in the 70s all week. A cool front came through last night, and it brought with it a north wind, left to right, 16 miles per hour as you watch this game here this afternoon from Tampa. Different places, these programs. The Spartans had only been to one bowl in 5 prior years before Mark D'Antonio came from Cincinnati, where he coached the Bearcats. He's turned the culture around. He's cleaned things up in East Lansing. It's a program that holds its head right there with Michigan and Ohio State in the Big Ten, and Wisconsin, who you'll see on the Rose Bowl later on ESPN. And Jen referred to it with Georgia, with all the talent they have coming back. Even though the SEC is stacked and will give us a 6th consecutive national championship a week from tonight, either LSU or Alabama, Dogs have the people to get it done. And the expectations will be high in 2012. We'll see if they can start it with a springboard here today. Kevin Muma from Troy, Michigan. One of the best in terms of touchbacks in the FBS this year. Set to kick it off from Tampa. Off we go with the 2012 Outback Bowl. Brandon Boykin will field it at the 2. And the senior from Fayetteville, Georgia, across the 25. And Aaron Murray will bring it down to the 26-yard line. We mentioned John, only 3 miles down the road where he played his high school ball. Couple of years at Georgia, he's shown a lot of pro tools.
He has great production. This is a real student of the game. Notice his athletic ability today. He can get away from pressure and create with his legs. At the end of the day, he is surrounded with very talented wideouts here at Georgia, and he can really throw the football.
Going off to his left there, number 7, Orson Charles. That was his high school teammate at Plant High School here in Tampa. And both of those guys hoping for some big hookups here today. Drive start from the 27. First pass complete to Marlon Brown. Highly acclaimed out of high school in Memphis. Hasn't produced to that acclaim just yet.
Right away, Georgia's jumping into the no-huddle offense. They want to try to wear down Michigan State. They're light inside. They've only got a couple defensive tackles. They're going to try to wear them down.
Ken Malcolm is the running back. It'll be a toss to the outside to Tavares King, who has a Georgia first down as he's just shy of the 40-yard line. That's Jarrell Worthy, first team AP All-American and juniors, to kind of taking a look at the NFL. We'll see what happens in this game, but John, he's going to be on the field a lot. Has to be.
Yeah, he better be playing with great stamina today, because this is the 3rd snap already for this Georgia offense. No huddle. And keep an eye on middle linebacker Max Bulla of Michigan State. When he sees Murray audible, he's going to try to audible back for the Michigan State Spartan defense.
Bulla's number 40. The run to Malcolm. Across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Isaiah Lewis made the tackle. So some impact players for the Dogs when they have it. Isaiah Crowell, a running back who led them in rushing but is not starting. And Cordy Glenn, their left tackle, very important in protection.
And the Spartans are led, obviously, by Jarrell Worthy, you talked about. He's a dominant inside presence, and Max Bulla is a coach on the field as the middle linebacker for this Spartan defense.
After a gain of 5, here's Malcolm with a run. Gain of only a couple of yards. One headline Spartan fans, Trenton Robinson, a captain, second team all Big Ten coaches selection. Their free safety out of Bay City, Michigan. Sat for disciplinary reasons at the opening of this game, but Robinson quickly on the field. The team rule violation. He's back out there now, an important down, 3rd and 2. Red redshirt sophomore Murray. Tavares King in the open field. Stopped shy of the first down. So the Spartans with Marcus Rush, after one first down, will force a punt.
Well, that's just great team defense by Michigan State. Ball's thrown quickly on the perimeter. You're counting on your receivers to get a block, but you really just rely on effort if you're a Michigan State Spartan defense. They do an excellent job running to the football. Nice play by Rush.
Second of the Big Ten, top 20 in the nation. Keyshawn Martin back for the punt of Drew Butler. Martin got a fair catch at the 10. He let it go, and it rolls down to the 2. So a long field coming for the Spartans as Blake Sailors went down to down it. Well, for the final time, Michigan State's offense is led onto the field by the senior quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, we've talked about his experience. And I think what's really going to be important for Cousins today is to find some kind of running game against this Georgia defense. They do not want to fall behind in the down and distance against the Georgia Bulldogs. They rush the passer as well as any team in college football.
Dogs are late to the party there on offense, or defense, I should say. And Cousins with a first down throw. That could be a safety. Did the ball break the plane? It did not. A safety. Brandon Boykin with the tackle of Keyshawn Martin. They throw a lot of bubble screens, and Boykin, who looks like he injured himself on that play, tackles Martin there inside the end zone, and it's a safety.
Well, Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, told us there'll be no bubble screens in this football game. Watch the left corner, number 2, Brandon Boykin. Recognize it. He's going to fire away and beat a block and make an impact tackle backed up for the Georgia defense. Boykin can do a lot of things for this Georgia football team. He's an excellent returner. He's played offense, and he's a top-flight corner.
And look at the injured Boykin after the safety as Georgia takes an early 2-0 lead. Well, a 2-0 start here for Georgia as they take the lead. It's Russ, who's the interim mascot there. It's Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, who has an NFL background and also has a background with Nick Saban.
Yes, he does. And I do know this about Todd Grantham. He does not like easy completions against his defense. No bubble screens, and he proved it early in this game.
On the free kick, here come the Dogs with Sanders Cummings catching the free kick and bringing it out to the 45-yard line.
Well, there's a loaded box. They're going to throw the bubble screen out to the wide side of the field, and Boykin makes an impact tackle for a safety. You see Cummings come across in motion. You can only block one Bulldog. The other one's got to make the tackle, and Georgia does an excellent job in one-on-one tackling situations. That's why they're a top-5 defense, Mike, in college football. All 11 defenders can tackle, and Todd Grantham has an NFL system. They do a great job on defense.
You saw Boykin injured as we went to break. Stayed down for about a minute. Worked his way off the field. So Aaron Murray with good field position and a 2-point lead. And Ken Malcolm runs to the right. Across midfield, and Malcolm gains 11. Into Spartan territory for a first down. Here's Jen Brown.
Well, quick update there on Brandon Boykin. About 5 games ago, Boykin actually fractured his teeth, and that's what he was getting looked at over here on the sidelines. He had actually knocked out a couple of his teeth 5 or 6 games ago, the SID just told me, and but he seems to be okay, drinking some water, and looks like he's going to be going back in the game.
All right, Jen, important player for this Bulldog team. Murray with a throw. Complete just shy of the 40-yard line, and Malcolm Mitchell put on the brakes, and there were Spartans waiting for him. So the gain only 2 yards for the freshman from Valdosta.
And it didn't take head coach Mark D'Antonio very long to get Trenton Robinson, his team captain, back into the football game. It's going to be a quick screen thrown up top. I think you're going to see number 39, Trenton Robinson, rally and make a nice open field tackle. Robinson, who leads this Spartan defense with 4 interceptions. Good to have him back in the lineup.
And Malcolm just popped out of the lineup, the running back for Georgia. Looking at his left arm on the sideline, Richard Samuel IV checks in. It'll be Samuel with the carry, not going to go anywhere. Anthony Rashad White up front with the tackle. Let's talk about this Georgia running back situation. They've started 4 different ones over the last 5 weeks. Isaiah Crowell, the most productive SEC freshman of the year, but has not always been with the program, hasn't been doing the right thing. So it was opened up in camp for the bowl, and Malcolm earned the start, but now he's over on the sideline getting that left shoulder checked out, and Samuel's the back on 3rd and 9. Spartans offside. Free play from Murray. Incomplete. Intended for Chris Conley, the freshman wide receiver.
Defense in the neutral zone, number 2. It's a 5-yard penalty, and replay, 3rd down.
That's a nice job by Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray using the snap count in a long yardage situation. I'm sure he saw number 2 William Golston in pregame warmup, and he said, we're going to use a hard count on Golston because this young man from Michigan State sure looks the part, has NFL size. He's their leading tackler in this defensive line. Nice job with the early snap count by Georgia.
Good genes. You remember his cousin Vernon, former Buckeye, first-round pick of the Jets. Didn't work out there. 3rd and 4. Murray had time. Has the first down to Malcolm Mitchell. The 30-yard line. Gain of 9.
I think it all starts with great blitz pickup, Mike. On the left side of your line, you're going to see the Spartans blitz, and watch the Bulldogs slide right into the blitz and wad it up, pick it up flush. And that gives Murray a chance to find his true freshman, number 26, Malcolm Mitchell, who's made a lot of clutch plays for the Bulldogs.
Here's the game within the game right there. Bulldogs look to the sideline. Their offensive coordinator, Mike Bobo, tells him what he wants to run, and Max Bulla from Michigan State changes the defense. A Murray shot to the end zone, off the head of Dark Place Denard, and a flag for pass interference.
Well, Aaron Murray loves to take shots right outside of the red zone, and they got the matchup they want with Tavares King.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. Half the distance to goal. Automatic. First down.
You know, Denard has been hurt, number 31 for Michigan State. They say he's healthy. Nice job by this Georgia staff targeting him early to see how healthy he is.
So the ball moves to the 14-yard line. Georgia has 2 number 1s that play on offense. We told you about Isaiah Crowell, the freshman leading rusher on this team. There's also the defensive player number 1, Brandon Smith, the starting cornerback, who's in the lineup. Smith had an impact on offense earlier this year, 11 carries for 97 yards. And he takes the run from Murray inside the 10. Made it to 5 and a gain of 9.
Well, listening to Mark Richt, Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, they want to get speed on the field, and the fastest Bulldog running backs are defensive backs. So there's Brandon Smith on a jet sweep on the perimeter. You'll see Brandon Boykin, number 2, later in this football game, but they inject speed into their offense. They don't care where they got to go to find it. They'll use 2 of their starting corners if they have to.
Ken Malcolm lifts that shoulder, deem it okay. He's back in as Murray looks over for the direction on 2nd and 1. Give it to Malcolm, met in the backfield by Golston. William the tackle, a loss of 3.
Golston, we just talked about his genes. There's a guy that was a high school linebacker. He's unblocked. There's a mistake clearly in the Georgia football play right there at tight end. No one touches Golston, who makes a big tackle for loss, setting up big 3rd down.
The tight end, Orson Charles, on the wing to the left. High school teammate of Murray. And a shovel pass to Charles. Kept from that first down. He was pulled back by big Jarrell Worthy.
Shovel pass. They're selling a sprint out pass to the right. And you're going to see Charles, number 7, on a little shovel pass off that right side. It looks like it's going to be a little short.
Fine play by the first team, All-American Worthy. Georgia coming out for a field goal attempt. But Mark Richter's taking a timeout here. So 4th and 1 for the Dogs from the 5. We'll see if they reconsider. We'll go for the field goal after the timeout.
ESPN's presentation of the Outback Bowl on ABC, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. Genworth, take a step every day to keep your promises. Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And the Ford F-150, available with the efficiency and power of EcoBoost.
Must visit when you come to the Tampa area, Busch Gardens. Both teams did. One of the annual events of the Outback Bowl. A lot of the fans as well. Well, it's 4th and a yard, and John, on second consideration, Georgia's going to go for it.
Go for it. Find out about your freshman tailback. Send a message to your offensive line.
Ben Malcolm, the redshirt freshman back. He's got it. He doesn't have it. Stopped by the Spartans. Michigan State with a hold, and they'll take over.
That's the kind of play you need to make if you're a Michigan State Spartan football player in a bowl game. They run right into the strength of this Michigan State defense. Good penetration by the defensive line. Nowhere for Malcolm to go. Good second effort defense. That's a huge impact play by Jarrell Worthy in this Spartan defense.
And big one to stop the momentum of the Bulldogs. So the safety scored for the Georgia defense, and an opportunity for the Dogs to add on and make it a 9-0 game. They're stopped to the touchdown, don't get the field goal. And Michigan State, which ran a play from the 2 and had a safety, now runs its second play from its own 6. And Kirk Cousins goes to Le'Veon Bell. About 4 for the sophomore from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. 900 yards this year, 106 in the championship game against Wisconsin. He and B.J. Cunningham, the all-time leading receiver in Michigan State history, the key impact guys on offense.
Well, Georgia's got a great pass rusher, number 29. Jarvis Jones led the SEC, and Bakari Rambo, a ball-hawking interception machine at the safety position, had 7 this year, 12 for his career.
Those two, Jones and Rambo, first team AP All-Americans this year. After the gain of 4, it's back to Bell. Hit hard by Alec Ogletree. John, it's a guy you like, number 9 for Georgia.
This Alec Ogletree hurt early in his season against Boise State, missed several games. A former safety. This guy will smash you. Watch number 9, Ogletree, fall right into this tackle against the big back. Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, said he has star power. This guy right here, number 9, Alec Ogletree, great future ahead of himself at Georgia.
As a fraternal twin, Alexander, who was the lead fullback on that stopped 4th down a moment ago. It's 3rd and 3 for the senior Cousins. There's throw, Nickel caught it. Keith Nickel, shy of the 40. And he's a former quarterback. First down for Michigan State.
That's a great throw. Georgia blitzes. They don't get much of a reroute on the outside. And Cousins throws the ball perfectly between the corner and the safety to the wide side of the field. That's a big play when you get backed up. But there's no reroute whatsoever by Cummings, number 19, and Sean Williams has no chance to get there. Nice play by Keith Nickel, who's a great story in his own right.
He had 25 for Nickel. And Spartan lore forever. He's the one who caught the Hail Mary against Wisconsin. Pressure on Cousins. Throws sideline. It's complete to Le'Veon Bell. Right across midfield stripe. Right at the midfield stripe. A gain of 13.
Well, you learn a lot about Kirk Cousins right here. He's under pressure. We talked about Jarvis Jones coming off the left side. Cousins gets hit right as he throws this ball. That's an NFL throw by Cousins. But look at Jarvis Jones. Just get after left tackle France from Michigan State. Jones he's a big-time pass rusher. I love watching him play.
First down, the backup back, Edwin Baker to the right. Gain of 3 yards, hit on the sideline by Bakari Rambo just before he hit the white paint. Michigan State with a couple of good backs. We mentioned Bell led the team with 900 yards this year. Last year, the top back was this junior from Highland Park, Michigan, Edwin Baker, had 1,200 yards. And both backs have a little completeness to it. They can catch the ball as well in the passing game.
I think that's what really separates these two Spartan backs. Mark D'Antonio told us that Bell, number 24, could play tight end if they asked him to. He's a natural pass receiver, promising young talent.
He's back in. He swings it over to Keyshawn Martin, looking for space. There's nowhere to go. Sean Williams with an eraser of a play, a loss of 9, tackled by the junior from Damascus, Georgia.
Well, Michigan State might lead the nation in gadget plays, but you're going to see Sean Williams, number 36, recognize this double reverse. They're going to toss it to Bell, flip it back to 82 Martin, and Sean Williams read his tip sheet this week. There's a star-studded cast of underclassmen here, Mike, for this Georgia football team. Williams is another one.
Third and 15, the tight end Linthicum stays in to block. Jarvis Jones got in around the edge and ends up forcing the sack by Ogletree. Ogletree's getting credit in the stat sheet. Jones in the coach's film room.
Well, Jones is giving Michigan State fits, and he's off to the races here. He's going to beat France again. And the two linebackers for Georgia, I call them green dog blitzers. They're studying the two backs, and if the backs stay in and block, they're going to go rush the quarterback. And Ogletree makes his second big play of this drive. Georgia's got a lot of speed.
Mike Sadler, lefty punter for the Spartans, kicks it away. 49-yarder, fair caught by Boykin. Dogs will take over at the 11. 3:13 left in the opening quarter. Dogs by a deuce. It's a nice area you live in, this Tampa area.
I like it down here, Mike.
Fans, families, teams enjoyed some beach activities. It was in the 70s. Good part of this week. Cool front came through, being the 60s for a couple of days, right back up in the 70s here in Tampa later this week. Georgia, no stranger to this Outback Bowl, appearing here for the 5th time. First appearance of the Spartans. Isaiah Crowell, the talented freshman, back next to Aaron Murray. Takes it to the left, chased down by Anthony Rashad White, and a loss of 3.
You know, Anthony Rashad White has had some physical problems this year, and they said that he's as good a prospect as Jarrell Worthy if healthy. Nice get off right there by the big guy from Michigan State.
Started the first 3, had a hip strain, and then came back. He's playing and will play a lot with the injury to Kevin Pickleman, a 5th-year senior. Both he and Jonathan Strayhorn, 2 seniors, very important to the Spartans, hurt late in the season, not playing today. Play clock running down on Aaron Murray. On 2nd and 13, he's flushed and slides down at the line of scrimmage. Let's get an update now. Here's Adnan Virk.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Over on ESPN, Nebraska taking on South Carolina. Connor Shaw on 4th and goal, punching it in. Amir Abdullah's now scored for Nebraska, so they're up 13-9. Also, Houston and Penn State on ESPNU. It's all Cougars. Ohio State and Florida scoreless on ESPN2. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Adnan, 347 first-half yards for Case Keenum against Penn State. Just in the first half.
How do you do that?
They put up some telephone numbers for stats. 3rd and 15 from Murray. Has time going deep down the sideline. Tavares King on the run to the 35-yard line.
So we said earlier in this broadcast about Aaron Murray, he's not completing bubble screens. He's throwing bombs down the field week in and week out. Good blitz pickup coming from the backfield. You're going to see Isaiah Crowell pick it up on the right side. And this ball's thrown to the wide side of the field, Mike. And he hits Tavares King in full stride. Great throw. And they're clearly targeting number 31, Darquez Dennard, who's been out with some injuries.
It was 3rd and 15, and they gained 60 on the toss down the sideline by Murray. Redshirted that first year. He started every game for Georgia the last two. And we have procedure penalty on the Dogs.
False start on the offense, number 79. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll remain first down.
Justin Anderson, the senior, switched back from defense this year, and he's one of the tackles along with Cordy Glenn.
Yeah, this offensive line has really made great progress. Remember, they gave up 6 sacks in the opener against Boise State. And everybody you talk to around here credits their center, Ben Jones, as being the glue of this offensive line. He's done a great job year in and year out for this program.
49th and final game for the senior from Centerville, Alabama. Here's Crowell with his second rush, not going anywhere, with the Spartans waiting for him on defense. I know some of you watched that Baylor-Washington game up and down. We talked about Case Keenum and the offense there. These are two very good defenses. Spartans top 10 in points allowed. Dogs top 10 in yards allowed. Matter of fact, only Alabama and LSU allowed more yards per game. Then you have Georgia third. See if they squeeze in one last play before the end of the quarter. With the wind in his back one last time in this half, the pass is blocked and back into the hands of Murray. So it's a catch, completion, and a reception, but a loss of 3 yards as Anthony Rashad White caught it to end this first quarter. After one, the Outback Bowl, Georgia 2, Michigan State nothing. And we'll continue from Tampa after these messages. And a word from your ABC station.
Like us on Facebook and win tickets to Ringling Brothers Barnum Bash.
Take a look at today's quarterback spotlight, brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. 11-4-11. Two guys certainly comfortable in their own skin. Kirk Cousins, the senior. Aaron Murray, the sophomore. With no incompletions, but a safety and 8 tackles for loss. Highlight a defensive-minded opening quarter. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Jen Brown with you. 2012 Outback Bowl here on ESPN. 2-0 Dogs. 3rd and 17 to start this second quarter. The 40, Bulla, the ringleader, reacting to the check made by Aaron Murray in the Dogs' sideline. Murray feels the rush, steps up, takes off, lost the football, picked up by Golston. With one hand, Golston snatched it from the ground, and it's Spartans' ball on a turnover.
We're seeing two top defenses in the country, Mike, just as advertised. That time, it looked like Murray had a lot of room to run through, and this hole closed quickly. You see Chris Norman, number 10, put his hat right on the football. And that's what this Michigan State Spartan defense is known for. What Pat Narduzzi walk in and say? Effort. Yeah. Be fun to watch. And they've made tremendous strides defensively under Mark D'Antonio, another Nick Saban protege. That's a great play by this Spartan defense.
On the game's first turnover, Spartans take over at the 41. Backwards pass, Le'Veon Bell. Only gains a couple of yards. Alec Ogletree over there. Speed of Georgia is going to make some of that wide stuff the Spartans run hard to get into today.
Well, they go to an unbalanced line. They're going to motion across a formation, and you want to see a fast middle linebacker. Watch Alec Ogletree show up from no place. Sorry, we didn't have time. Michigan State just jumped the ball in no huddle.
Do a little bit of what Georgia likes to do, but you got Ogletree live. Instead, making another tackle this time, the gain of 3.
I think I'm going to become an agent, and I'm going to knock on his door first. That's about his 4th tackle in the first 12 snaps today. He's comfortable in any situation. He can play in space. He can play in the box. Getting better every week.
False start flag from the side.
False start, offense, number 59. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll remain 3rd down.
That's Dan France. And John, as we were talking between quarters, the offensive coordinator, Dan Rochard, it's a problem they're having here at the left tackle.
Well, there's no question. And when you line up as a left tackle against a prize pass rusher like Jarvis Jones, you have a tendency, you get a little excited, you have a tendency to jump off sides, and France needs to settle down because they're going to continue to bring pressure off that left side.
Especially when 29's beaten you twice in the last series. 3rd and 10. Georgia brings 5. Cousins throws off the hands of his 5th-year senior tight end Brian Linthicum. And it'll be 3 and out after the turnover for Michigan State's offense.
You talk about statistics, how both of these defenses are in the top 5. A lot of it has to do with their 3rd down defenses. Both of these teams, Georgia and Michigan State, get off the field on 3rd down. Another great job by the defense of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Brandon Boykin back for the Mike Sadler punt. A line drive, but it's tough to catch, so it'll go out of bounds. Kick is 47 yards. And Georgia and Aaron Murray off the turnover take over at the 12. Wish you were here. St. Pete Beach and all the great scenery here on the West Coast. It's good to be back with this guy. A little Aflac trivia question for you here now. Michigan State and Georgia both have a couple of former players who are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What you think about it? Give you the answer in a little bit. Have you peeked? Do you know the answer?
I got a pretty good idea on this one.
All right. Let you work at it at home. A couple of programs have been playing football over a century. Some great players and championship teams over the years. Each of these teams won their division of the Big Ten, the SEC, respectively. Last Georgia drive started at the 11, this one at the 12. After Ken Malcolm's gain of 2, here's Adnan Verk with an update.
All right, Mike, the Gator Bowl on ESPN2. John Brantley completing on 3rd down to Deontay Thompson. It's a 17-yard touchdown. Florida up 7-0 over Ohio State. 14-play, 80-yard drive. Mike?
The Gators and Brantley were here last year, Adnan, beating Penn State in what was the final game for Urban Meyer, who will next coach Ohio State. Aaron Murray's throw complete to Michael Bennett, but a good open field play by Darquez Denard keeps the game to 4.
Well, Michigan State likes to blitz, and when they blitz, they play a zone blitz coverage on the back end. 2 deep shells, and both corners have to be able to tackle. Nice job that time by number 31, Darquez Denard. Sets up another key 3rd down.
Denard in coverage with Tavares King. In the slot here at the bottom of your screen, I should say. Murray's hit all his passes against the pressure. Another completion. This is a 1st down. Malcolm Mitchell brings it in after a gain of 11.
This Malcolm Mitchell, he's the best receiver Georgia has against press coverage. This time he beats Johnny Adams. How about those hands, Mike? Excellent job by the true freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia, snatching the football away from his body. Look for more of Malcolm as this game unfolds.
Don't normally say that about a freshman being the best guy against press coverage. 6'1", 185. 29 right in the backfield for a quick eraser is William Golston out of Southeastern High School, the sophomore from Detroit, with a little bit of food on that one.
Seeing way too many tackles for loss from 2 good offensive experienced teams. Golston's 2nd penetration tackle for loss already.
Michigan State already 6 tackles for loss, 3 by Golston.
The blitz coming. We'll see if Bullock checks out of the blitz or if he brings it.
With Samuels the back, pressure on Golston. Murray got away, and that's his 1st incompletion. Out of the tackle box, no grounding, even though no receiver over there.
Well, Max Bola, the middle linebacker, checks out of the blitz. Watch Golston. He's unblocked again. And William Golston is going to be the player of the game if he's unblocked. He's got tremendous size and He's been very productive this season for this Spartan defensive team, and he's been unblocked a couple times, and he's taking advantage of it.
Got a good look at that replay. 15 and red. Marlon Brown was in the area as well. So no grounding, 3rd and 12. Murray getting pressure going down to Nikos Allen. Second team all Big Ten. And what about the defenses in this Outback Bowl?
This to Nikos Allen. He leads the Spartans with 10 sacks. That's his 11th coming in here. The ex-safety. Watch him come off this edge and beat Justin Anderson easily with speed. The linebacking core was supposed to be the weakness of this Spartan defense, and it's quickly become the strength because of guys like Nikos Allen.
Drew Butler kicking it away for Georgia. 41 on the kick. Fair caught at the 36-yard line. So Michigan State getting a little bit better field position. As this defense is handled Georgia, especially on 3rd down.
ESPN's presentation of the Outback Bowl on ABC, brought to you by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? Buick. See real stories of human achievement on the Buick Human Highlight Reel at ncaa.com/Buick. Aflac. Visit aflac.com for an agent or quote. And new Tabasco Buffalo Style Hot Sauce. Tabasco. Are you one of us?
Some of the unique things of a bowl trip. Land of Tampa. It's a dog meeting a giraffe. And some of the animals there. Michigan State had their own animal. They had an alligator at practice this week in Spartan gear, set up by the coach to run over this guy. The problem was the alligator bit the handler's leg. Thankfully it was not serious and everything worked out okay. Edwin Baker with the gain of 1. And we asked a moment ago, time that we get an answer here. Aflac trivia question answer. Pro Football Hall of Fame. Spartans, Bulldogs, 2 apiece. Who are they? Herb Adderley, Joe DeLamalure, terrific offensive lineman, and Fran Tarkington and Charlie Trippi, who in his final Georgia game, a bowl game, played all 60 minutes for the victory. That's B.J. Cunningham, the all-time leading receiver in Spartan history, with a gain of 5 to the 43-yard line.
And they move him around in this offense, and it's important they get him into this football game quickly. He can line up on the outside. That time he plays in the slot, sets up a 3rd and medium.
72 catches on the year. That's the first of the day for Cunningham. On 3rd and 4, Cousins through the slant for Cunningham, but Brandon Smith deflects it. Michigan State sideline wanted a penalty. There's none called. It's 4th down.
Well, that's what NFL scouts want to see. They want to see Cunningham one-on-one with a guy like Brandon Smith. Here he is trying to cross face. I think Smith times it perfectly. Once again, great 3rd down defense by this Georgia Bulldog football team. It's been a game of field position. Important that Michigan State pins Georgia back again.
Back-to-back 3 and outs. Brandon Boykin hopes to get a return in here. Great kickoff return. Let it go, and it goes all the way home. So a touchback, 37 yards of net. And Aaron Murray from Tampa's Plant High School will take the field, put some offensive points on the board. Defense is the only 2 for Georgia today. It's an entire game's worth of stats in the first half for Keenum. Season that cannot end soon enough for Penn State. 2nd and 10 from the 20 for Georgia. The run up the middle with Isaiah Crowell, fights through a hole on the right side for 6. They have 3rd and 4 coming up. John, just 4 miles south of here, right down Dale Mabry, Plant High School. This kid, a local legend, terrific performer.
Terrific is an understatement. He lit it up here at Tampa. State championship game. He had a broken leg earlier in the season. He came back and played. You see his dad right there on the left with the glasses. His mom is sitting there with the shades on there on the right. But just an outstanding young man, well trained at Plant High School.
2 state titles. Supposed to be out 3 to 4 months with a broken leg. Came back in 2 months in the state semifinal game and threw for 344. Here he is on 3rd and 4, going down. What a half William Golston is having. They cannot block William Golston right now.
And there's nobody open. Michigan State's doing an excellent job mixing blitzes with zone and man coverages. Murray holds the ball a little bit too long right here. There's just nowhere to go. And Golston, you see, spin and make another primetime play.
Georgia has struggled with special teams coverage. Spartans aren't going to get a chance to return as Keyshawn Martin took a very high kick with good hang time from Drew Butler. A 37-yarder for the fair catch at the 42-yard line. Michigan State, no team in the Big Ten, has won more games the last 2 years in the league than the Spartans. Last year, three-way tie for the Rose Bowl as co-champs, but Wisconsin represented the Big Ten due to the tiebreaker. This year, Mark D'Antonio's team had the best record, only one regular season loss, but lost the inaugural title game to the Badgers. Le'Veon Bell seeking space, only a yard. Whole bunch of Georgia red waiting for him.
I see right now Michigan State has made a substitution. Jared McGaha in at offensive tackle. Dan France struggled at left tackle earlier in this game. Michigan State trying to find a way to neutralize the speed of Jarvis Jones, who's given them problems off the edge. They've been way behind in the down and distance, Mike. Once again, a passing situation. Look for Georgia to heat it up.
McGaha, the fifth-year senior, replaces the sophomore France after a Bell gain of 1. Some time here for Cousins, and behind Cunningham, and incomplete. And what's checking again with Adnan? Adnan, Ohio State had just worked it downfield, got a DeVere Posey touchdown to tie it at 7, but the Gators with the big return take the lead.
Pass rush situation. Washington at the top, Jones at the bottom. No back set.
Here they come with pressure from Rambo. Two of the middle. Rambo, Cummings, I should say, breaks up the pass. And he knows right the first time. It was Bakari Rambo, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, and Cousins is lucky he didn't get hurt right there. Well, we talked about Rambo, number 18, 12 career picks. He keys the quarterback as well as any safety in college football. Got a good break right there. Pass rush again, giving the Spartans fits.
And that is 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. One more time, Sadler with the kick. Grayson just lets it get away, and it'll roll down shy of the 10-yard line. 47 on the kick, no return. 6:55 to go. We get a field goal, maybe? We don't want a touchdown, still a field goal. Scenery's nice. Looking forward to watching this one. America's #1 New Year's resolution, get revenge. Juiciest drama to arrive in years, they tell us. Wednesday, bombshells bigger than ever. Never too late to get your revenge. All new Wednesday, 10/9 Central, only here on ABC. Spartan marching band trying to get some movement going. The offense 3-and-out the last 3 trips. As Michigan State turns it back over to the defense, Georgia takes over its own 11. Fourth consecutive Georgia drive starting inside the 20. And Aaron Murray getting set to get hit. Completes it for 3. Over to Malcolm Mitchell. Pacific Life game summary. Let's take a look at what Aaron Murray's been up to so far here in this game.
Well, he's throwing the ball well. He's made a couple nice throws on 3rd down. Here's one to Malcolm Mitchell. The bomb on 3rd and long. Backed up to Tavares King, a thing of beauty. Just haven't been able to sustain any offense. Too many negative plays on early downs. Too good defense.
Murray gets it to Crowell in the middle of the field. He's pulled down by Chris Norman at a Renaissance High School in Detroit. Gain of 4. Michigan State and Detroit area fans know Matthew Stafford, the former Bulldog. Murray passed Matthew this year in touchdowns. Now Eric Zier, David Green on the all-time list ahead.
Yeah, when you throw 57 touchdowns in your first 2 years in the SEC, that's saying something. He's committed to finishing his career at Georgia, being a 4-year player. I like that. He's got to dig down deep, find a way.
Isaiah Crowell just limped off. What else is new? Georgia fans have heard that a lot.
On the offense, number 79. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll remain third down.
Justin Anderson flagged for the second time. John's been a injury-filled season. Sprained ankles. He missed the Kentucky game. Georgia Tech with shin and wrist injuries. A freshman, very talented, but has not been able to stay on the field.
Well, when you come into Georgia as a top prospect at the tailback position, everybody compares you to Herschel Walker. That's a lot of pressure on any young back.
Now it's 37. Ken Malcolm's the back. He picked up the pressure. Murray's throws incomplete. As Malcolm Mitchell kept running, it's back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Spartan defense.
Well, Michigan State has Georgia clearly confused. Wide receivers, busting patterns, quarterback not quite sure what was going on there, and another 3-and-out.
Drew Butler's going to kick it to Keyshawn Martin. I mentioned Martin has a touchdown each of the last 2 seasons. Rocket shot for Butler. Martin's got it at the 38 and a great open field play to bring him down. Blake Saylor's second good special teams play on a punt coverage in this first half. 2011 scrapbook for the Spartans. Beat Michigan 4 consecutive years. Been a half century since the Spartan bunch could say that. The moment of the college football season for many. The Hail Mary overtime victory over Wisconsin in East Lansing in prime time. Then the loss to Nebraska. Gauntlet of a schedule. They couldn't handle the last one in Lincoln. Only conference loss of the season. They represented the new Legends division and lost to the champs of the Leaders division, Wisconsin. Edwin Baker can't go anywhere. Christian Robinson with the tackle.
You know, when you run a 34 defense, you got to have a nose tackle. And Georgia found one. Junior college player John Jenkins. He's hard to single block, and you spend so much time blocking Jenkins, you can't handle these run-through linebackers, and Christian Robinson capitalizes. Georgia's massive up front. 2 monster nose tackles led by John Jenkins, number 6.
48 plays, 12 tackles for loss. 1 of every 4 plays has gone the wrong way. That carry by Edwin Baker with Alec Ogletree and Christian Robinson with the tackle. You know, John, we talked about this Michigan State season. There's a term, I live in Michigan, you hear it all the time. It was SOS, same old Spartans. Michigan State would have prosperity, then they'd lose a game they should win. It was an unstable program, guys in trouble. Mark D'Antonio came in after his 3 years at Cincinnati and really cleaned up the shop, has this thing running very well. And the only thing missing from this 5-year run, and Cousins was a true freshman when it started, is a win in a bowl game. That is their item 1 for this afternoon. Like a first down right now. B.J. Cunningham 2 yards short of it, not going to get it, as Brandon Smith tackles him. And that is 4 consecutive 3-and-outs for Georgia.
We said it earlier, Georgia as good at tackling defense as we've seen in college football. And keep an eye on these Spartans, Mike. They use a lot of trickery in the kicking game. Mark D'Antonio known for that as the head coach at Michigan State here on 4th and a little more than 2. Keep an eye on anything. Wrong again.
Sadler's going to kick it. And this one will go all the way through in a touchback, and Georgia will start a 5th drive in a row inside their own 20. The 2011 season in Athens, the loss at the Georgia Dome to Boise State into South Carolina, 0-2. Mark Richt's on the hot seat. He's not going to survive. They reel off 10 wins in a row, winning them by 21 points, including Richt's 100th career victory. Beat the Volunteers. They beat the Mighty Gators for the first time in 4 years. Represented the SEC East in the title game. And Georgia fans are used to seeing a game like this. Remember, it was a dominant first half performance by their defense. LSU had no first downs and only 12 yards in the SEC title game. Then the Honey Badger took over. Tyrann Mathieu had a punt return for touchdown, another big punt return. LSU's offense kicked in, and the Tigers remained undefeated and won the SEC title. Richard Samuels now the back. Aaron Murray protected. There's a shot downfield. The man open. Tavares King inside the 20. All the way home. Touchdown. Touchdown, Georgia.
Tremendous execution by Georgia and a brilliant throw by Aaron Murray. It's a gap protection, maximum protection. They sprint Murray out to his right, and they get King one-on-one with a safety, and the ball's thrown perfectly.
Yards from Tavares King on the pass from Murray. Touchdown 34 on the season. Extra point added by Blair Walsh, and Georgia scores the first touchdown of the game to take a 9-0 lead.
Well, it's going to be a sprint protection. You're going to see protection on both sides of the formation. It allows Murray to move to his right, and right there in the slot, you're going to see Tavares King on a double move. And that ball is thrown perfectly. Watch King push up the field, nod to the outside, and then win to the post. And he beat a good safety in Trenton Robinson. Second big play for Tavares King, number 12.
Keyword there being a safety. A guy like that, King, in coverage.
Well, they have the right protection, Mike. They keep Charles in on the backside. They move the pocket to get away from Worthy. And they give Aaron Murray a chance to set his feet and launch one. And Georgia's got a cast of great young receiving prospects. They had a guy here last year who was a good receiver, Mike. A.J. Green.
I've heard of him. With the Cincinnati Bengals.
One of the playoffs.
And Andy Dalton, the quarterback, and John's brother Jay, the offensive coordinator. That's the longest play in the 26-year history of this bowl game. Also a career long for both the quarterback Murray and the receiver King. Nick Hill out of Chelsea, Michigan with the return. Little speedster Nick Hill to the 36-yard line.
Nick Hill on the return.
Aaron Murray on that touchdown. Now part of setting a Georgia mindset with this game for next year.
I think our guys are hungry. You know, like I said, we got anywhere from 15 to 17 guys coming back next year. We're a young team, and we feel like we could take it all next year. And I think this would be a great way to finish the season. And I think there's only been, I want to say, 7, 8 teams in Georgia history that have won 11 games. And we would love to be one of those teams to win 11 games, to send our seniors off the right way.
17, the last one to do it. Cousins pass complete to Cunningham. First down at the 43-yard line. Your office, the FFCA office, where we see the quarterbacks come before the draft. You got a chance to have both quarterbacks over there.
I sure did. I couldn't get rid of either one of these guys. Cousins and Murray love football. But this Aaron Murray's special, and I'm biased because he's from Tampa, been well trained by Robert Weiner at Plant High School. But I really enjoy being with Aaron Murray. I think he's got a promising future.
Cousins almost threw a pick six going the other way. Ogletree had it on his hands and couldn't convert. Both quarterbacks, John, when you visited with them, really good football acumen and understanding of the game, and put those necessary quarterback hours in, given the defenses they see.
And I think that's a credit to both of these programs. Well coached. It starts at the top with Mark D'Antonio. Huge third down. Michigan State got to find a way to get a first down and get some rhythm on offense.
Georgia takes a timeout. They have 12 on the field. As we hit the timeout, let's send it out to the field of the Rose Bowl and check in with our colleague Chris Fowler, see what he has for us now.
We're just ahead on the H&R Black halftime report. Highlight to the other two SEC versus Big Ten bowl games, plus how Case Keenum is lighting up the Nittany Lions, and how they heat here in Pasadena combined with talent and tempo will make it tough on the defenses today. Kirk and David Pollack will join me.
All right, Chris, thank you. College game day, as usual, usually on Jan 1, but Jan 2 this year, out at the Rose Bowl, and you'll see that game over on ESPN coming up at 4:30 Eastern time, followed by the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl tonight. Andrew Luck's last collegiate game against Oklahoma State and Brandon Wheaton. 7 possessions for Michigan State against Mark Richt and the Georgia defense. 2 first downs and only 60 yards so far.
It has been a struggle. And for Michigan State to get that elusive bowl victory, they're going to have to earn it today, Mike.
Sustain some offense. Le'Veon Bell next to Cousins. It's third and a couple. Ball stays in for pressure. Come back to Linthicum, the tight end. Held on to by Sanders Cummings. Stayed up momentarily, took a second shot as the ball went out of bounds. And it'll be shy of the first down, I do believe. Let's check out the player first. He took a second shot and lost the ball, and he's shaken up.
These are the kind of plays that work all season. You get them ready for these types of situations, and once again, Georgia is not fooled by anything Michigan State has thrown at them today.
Brian Linthicum, the fifth-year senior, started his career at Clemson. Took that hit right there, and then his legs got twisted.
That's that guy Ogletree.
Yep. One more time, huh?
Alec Ogletree, number 9, has been all over for this Georgia defense.
Cousins standing next to Andrew Maxwell, the backup quarterback. Linthicum helped over to the Spartans training table. Started his career at Clemson. 3 touchdowns there his freshman year, then transferred to Michigan State. Along with Garrett Selleck, the brother of Brent Selleck of the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles, and Deion Sims, the 3 tight ends of Michigan State. But he's shy of the first down, so that's another 3 and out. And another kick. Going back to the 5 to take it is Boykin getting out of space. Look out. Boykin needs some space. He's got the far side. One block away is Boykin across midfield. Breaking free. A spectacular touchdown.
His draft status just changed, Mike. He hit that like a rocket. Reverses his field, finds a lane, and he is gone. Brandon Boykin. Not many players in SEC history have returned to football better, and a lot of it he does on his own. But what tremendous vision, open field elusiveness, and flat-out finishing speed. Michigan State got to be careful, Mike. They could get blown out of here.
92 yards. That is the longest play in Outback Bowl history. It erases the record that stood for all of a minute and a half on the clock when Aaron Murray hit Tavares King for 80 yards a moment ago. Boykin, who has 4 career kickoff returns for touchdown, one of 3 men in the SEC's history to do that. That time brings up punt back 92.
Sometimes when you're a coach, I used to say, put your heels at the 10 and do not return it inside the 10. I never coached Brandon Boykin, though. He obviously has the green light to pick it and get with it. That's a great return by Brandon Boykin. He hasn't been quite as productive this year, Mike, because opponents have been kicking the ball away from him because of his tremendous resume. But remember, Boykin causes a safety early in this game, and he just returns the ball 92 yards for a touchdown. Mark Richt proud of his senior, Brandon Boykin. He's making a play for the MVP of this Outback Bowl.
2 touchdowns in 87 seconds. Now Michigan State needs a response. Here's Larry Caper. Right up to the 25. First hit from Corey Campbell. These 2 teams have played before in bowl games. 89 was the Gator Bowl. Rodney Hampton. Remember that name? 3 touchdowns. That was a big game in Georgia history. The farewell for Vince Dooley. Georgia beat Michigan State by 7. Then the Capital One Bowl in Orlando just a few years ago. Matthew Stafford, Noshawn Moreno on their way to the NFL. And Georgia beat Michigan State 24-12. Stafford's 3 touchdowns coming on the final 18 minutes of the game, and he won the MVP. Georgia player injured on kick coverage, Connor Norman. Strong safety down, looking at his right leg.
Right now, Michigan State obviously enters the 2-minute drill. They have to find a way to get something before intermission. But I think they also have to be very careful with this Bulldog pass rush. They've got to get some help to their 2 tackles who have both struggled in pass protection so far today.
At the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville.
Boykin helped off by the training staff. Team's outstanding walk-on for defense at the end of spring ball this past year at Peachtree Ridge High School in Duluth. Now State takes over the 27 with very little offense so far. Remember, this is a Michigan State team that was blown out last year in the Capital One Bowl, 49-7 by Alabama. 5 straight 3-and-outs. Can they get a first down? That ball nearly intercepted by Sanders Cummings.
Well, Kirk Cousins has no rhythm whatsoever there. Looked like he threw that awkwardly off his back foot. Wasn't sure if he got fooled by coverage, but that ball should be intercepted. Don't ever want to see a ball thrown into that many red shirts if you're wearing white.
Well, John, so much of this Michigan State offense is that power play they run with one back. And some of the bubble screens that you schooled us on this week, and we have not seen much of that from the Spartans so far today. Check down with Bell, Le'Veon Bell. Used his patented spin move and a hurdle to get within 2 yards of a first down. Sean Williams went up high, and he came down hard.
Bell's a 240-pound back that has really come on here at Michigan State as a runner and a receiver. Watch him catch this little check down screen and go up. It's impressive for a big man. Clock will start here shortly.
Well, they stopped it for Williams, who was dazed on that play. He's walking slowly over to the Georgia sideline. He's trying to tell everybody he was okay, but the officials did a good job of stopping the play and get him checked out properly. Good job by this Conference USA crew. Spartans desperately need a first down, and we get a flag for movement. Line judge throws it.
Well, they wasted 16 seconds with the audible.
You have the option here on this penalty, motion procedure penalty last minute for the 10-second runoff that added to the rule book this year.
On the offense, number 3, it's a 5-yard penalty to remain third down. By rule, we'll run off 10 seconds on the clock.
Those are the worst kind of penalties in a 2-minute drill.
And Michigan State will try to take the timeout here and alleviate that back end of the penalty.
Michigan State is going to take a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. So we have a timeout, Michigan State.
So the timeout cleans up the 10-second runoff, so the clock stays at 47 seconds. Georgia leading 16-0. Now we have a second, celebrating its 6th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds. For each field goal and extra point kicked, to date, Allstate has contributed more than $2.6 million in scholarship funds. Continuation of that great program here this year. Well, John, we talked about all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. They've all put points on the board for Georgia. A safety, a touchdown on the 80-yard pass by Murray, and then the Boykin 92-yard punt return for touchdown.
And keep an eye on this Georgia defense. I really think this is when they're the most exciting to watch, is these third down, obvious passing situations. We talked about Jarvis Jones, the pass rusher. You've seen plenty of Brandon Boykin, their outstanding corner. But it's their system of defense under Todd Grantham. It's an NFL system. He's had plenty of NFL background in his career. And Todd Grantham, he can attack you a lot of different ways. Man blitzes, zone blitzes, 3-man rushes, you name it, he's got it. And this Georgia Bulldog defense has gotten better and better under his tutelage the last 2 seasons.
And we saw that in the SEC championship game and throughout the conference season.
I like what Mark
Game
Rick
clock is
said.
correct at 47 seconds.
They just went to replay to double check that the clock was accurate after that injury that happened, and the clock restarting properly done. So we're back at 47 seconds and 3rd and 7.
I like what Mark Richt said, though, Mike. He wasn't looking for a 34 defensive guy. He was looking for the right guy. And Todd Grantham was that coach he was looking for, and he's really done a great job. But watch these Bulldogs move around on defense.
Le'Veon Bell joins the bunch to the right. The backfield, Cousins got rid of it quick. It's caught, but that penalty, that procedure penalty, made it 3rd and 7, and Washington was whistled down as Sanders Cummings stops him short of the first down. And Georgia's got 1 timeout left, 32 on the turning clock.
Almost looked like a sight adjustment, but when this ball's caught, just count the number of Georgia Bulldogs. There's 1, Cummings. There's Washington, that's 2. Robinson, Boykin, 5. I see 8 Georgia Bulldogs. And that's an attitude that doesn't happen overnight. It's a credit to Mark Richt and his staff.
Mark choosing not to use that last timeout. Let the half run down, and this first half will come to an end. Michigan State deferred to their option to start the second half. But all dogs, they had the flurry at the end of the first half. The long shot king, the return by Boykin. 16-0 Michigan State. Chris Fowler in the H&R Block halftime report. After some of those great talented high school musicians, they compete all year and are honored to be chosen by the Bowl Committee. Outback Bowl 2012 here in Tampa. 16-0 Georgia as we set to start the second half. Mike Tirico, John Gruden with you here in Tampa. It is a Michigan State offense that the speed, as Kirk Herbstreit mentioned at halftime, the SEC speed of the defense of Georgia, they can't get anything going, and they better find something quick.
And they've tried everything. They've tried double reverses, throwback screens. They've used the no huddle. Nothing's worked, and a lot of that has to do with this Bulldog defense. They are good.
And a terrific player as well, and Brandon Boykin, who's changed the game with a safety and a punt return. And we take a look at him in our expert breakdown brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
Well, 3 big plays in the first half, and Boykin's made 2 of them. Here he is at left corner. He sees Keyshawn Martin coming across in motion. Cunningham blocks 1 Bulldog, and Boykin says, I'll take 2 points. Then he returns a punt inside his own 5-yard line. He goes to his left, back to his right. He sees the lane, and he turns on that speed, and it's a huge impact play in special teams. Watch his Cam Newton Stretch Armstrong celebration he does. Georgia's got some firepower. I think Mark Richt wants to prove to everybody that they have a top 5 football team coming back in Athens next year. They need to stay on the gas pedal. And Aaron Murray, he's made a couple great throws in the first half as well, Mike.
That 80-yard touchdown to Tavares King comes to mind right away. Very few incompletions as well for the sophomore Murray. I'm glad you mentioned that, John, that top 5 for next year or top 10, wherever they end up. Some polls, the early polls, have them in that 5 or 6 range. It's what Jen Brown asked and what Mark Richt said before the game, that it's an important stepping stone for 2012. You always want to send your senior class out with a win. We've heard that 1,000 times from a million coaches. But that next year in this BCS system, having a good place to start from means a lot. Georgia knows that. A few years ago, they won the Sugar Bowl, blew out Hawaii, started the season as #1 with Matthew Stafford. Injuries around him and the rest of the Dogs didn't lead to a good season. Boykin playing his final half in the red and black of Georgia. The defense will be on the field first against Michigan State. 16-0. John, I'm thinking about Mark D'Antonio, the coach of the Spartans, who shared with us how his team this year has had those flurries at the end of a half, a defensive play, a defensive score, special teams. They were on the receiving end of the flurry at the end of that first half.
Yes, they were. There's been no flurry so far from Michigan State, but a full half left.
Blair Walsh kicking it. And it'll be Keyshawn Martin from 2 yards deep, taking it out, and shy of the 20. Third special teams play for Blake Sailors here today. Here's Jen Brown.
Thanks, Mike. Well, a little update for this Georgia offense. Their running back, Isaiah Coel, will not be playing the rest of this game. He went out in that second quarter with that left ankle injury. It is a re-injury of something that he had done earlier this season. I talked to Mark Richt about it. He said, Jen, don't worry. We've got plenty of backs. It's not going to affect us. We're ready to go. Obviously, we're ahead, so we're happy.
Yeah, that's one thing that they are not deficient in, number of running backs, Jen, with 4 different ones who started the last 5 games. Spartan offense, nothing happened in the first half. Starts the same way in the second half, and guess who? Brandon Boykin gets Le'Veon Bell for a loss of 3.
Well, he's a primary support player. They're playing 2 deep zone, and watch him just come off your right side, and he's unblocked. Boykin might be the MVP of this game, Mike. Terrible way to start the second half. Michigan State has had way too many plays go for negative yardage, and most of them on early downs.
It'll be a good interview. Says he wants to be a sportscaster. That's all said and done. He's got some playing days ahead of him. Here he is creeping off the edge. Now back in coverage as Cousins finds some open space, takes off, and Kirk Cousins gets down by the 22-yard line. Show you some numbers here from the first 30 minutes of the Outback Bowl. Only 4 rushing yards, 72 total yards for the Spartans, as Georgia had 80 of those 185 pass yards on that one big play, 80 to Tavares King. And this was the down, and they weren't all 3rd and longs that Michigan State struggled with. A lot of them in the 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8 range.
Blitz. See Ogletree at the bottom of the screen. Here comes Georgia.
Ogletree's 9. He's coming. Cousins got rid of it quick. But wrapping up is Sean Williams to keep it shy of the first down, depending on where the forward progress is marked.
Well, he's clearly short.
Yep.
An excellent drive and throw down tackle by the young safety, Williams.
It's twice that Sean Williams has wrapped up and kept the Spartans for first down, so new half, same story. 3 and out Michigan State.
We spent a lot of time with NFL teams this year, Mike, and walking around this Georgia hotel, you just felt like you were around an NFL team. These guys looked the part, playing great too.
Mike Sadler had poor hang time on that kick that was brought back by Boykin for a touchdown. This one away from Boykin with a friendly bounce for the Spartans. It's going to be 54 yards, and Georgia ball at the 21-yard line when we come down. 2.5. Hey fans, ESPN's new football game. You are the most explosive player on the field. Jerome Simpson there. Return man, hit the gap, break tackles, take it to the house. Free at ESPNReturnMan.com. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Jen Brown with you. 2012 Outback Bowl here in Tampa. Jim McVay, President CEO, does an outstanding job with this bowl. Both teams talked about how this is right up there with the best bowl experiences in weeks that they've had. Both teams, no strangers to bowl games. Georgia's 47th, 15th in a row. Aaron Murray takes over from 22. Tavares King has a touchdown earlier. Instead of had a harm's way in a gain of a half dozen.
Michigan State comes out firing with blitzes. They need to make a play on defense. Clearly their offense has struggled. Look for Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator of the Spartans, to blitz Aaron Murray and try to make something happen. They need a turnover desperately.
They have 140 yards on 2 big plays. Other than that, they've done okay. One of them that took it to the house, though, Ken Malcolm, a yard shy, about a half yard shy of the first down. Here's a place made by Tavares King, the junior from Mount Airy, Georgia.
3rd and 15. Backed up. Change field position. Then a double move. Watch him turn to the outside. Break back to the post. Ball's thrown perfectly. Tavares King has the speed to finish. 2 big plays.
You wonder if we would have held on the SEC championship game. They would have gone up 14-0. Would that have changed the tenor of that first half in the Georgia Dome? 3rd and 1. Murray's going to throw for it. Worthy broke through, forced it out quick, but it's complete for the first down. 35-yard line. It's Malcolm Mitchell with the gain of 5 in front of Johnny Adams.
Instant pressure at that time on Aaron Murray. He eludes it, slides to his left, makes a big third down conversion. And once again, Malcolm Mitchell shows his ability to reach out and snatch the football. Georgia has a lot of respect for Michigan State's run defense, Mike. Look for them to continue to throw the ball quickly in these one-back sets.
Georgia just 17 runs, 24 yards here today. Murray, play action. Pressure got picked up. He got out of the pocket and threw an interception. There's the turnover they needed. Darquez Denard gets his second on the season.
Well, Tavares King started the block. He thought Murray was going to put it down and run. Murray changes his mind. Leighton fools Tavares King. Watch King turn and look for the football. He sees Murray scramble. He gets a block. Ball's intercepted. That's a quarterback and receiver not on the same page. That's why they have all those scramble drills week in, week out. Big turnover by the Georgia offense sets up Michigan State with great field position.
Not only is it their best starting position, it's 3 yards away from their deepest penetration of the game. What are you going to do with it? Cousins down the middle. That pass nearly intercepted. Linthicum, the tight end, had a tough time getting out of his break. He was being jostled.
Well, Christian Robinson carries Linthicum right down the middle. That's what an inside linebacker has to do in these two deep zone defenses. Michigan State, they need one of those flurries that you were talking about they have up in East Lansing this time of year now.
7 straight 3, and that's 9 possessions. 8 of them have not gained a first down. Only the 4th snap in Georgia territory. Bubble screen was covered. Tried to still get it to Keyshawn Martin. It was incomplete. And you see the speed of Georgia, and that pride won. No bubble screens today.
Oh, I love it. You take away a big part of Michigan State's pass defense. I think Boykin's the nickel cover guy in the slot right here. He presses, he gets off a block. They're just ready for the quick bubble screens that Michigan State utilizes. Nothing has come easy at all for this Spartan offense today.
We always talk about the DBs, the Cornelius Washington in the throwing lane there. Forced Cousins to come down and eat it. 3rd and 10. Sideline throw, caught for the first down, B.J. Cunningham. So there's the first down in a long time in front of Sanders Cummings.
I'm glad Cunningham's name came up. Timing pattern to the outside. Outside foot is back. He'll count 7 steps and roll it to the outside. Ball's thrown perfectly. You just need 1 foot in college football. Huge first down for Michigan State.
Deepest penetration of the afternoon for the Spartans. And into Keyshawn Martin. Trying to get Joel Foreman to pull for him, but again the speed. And again Boykin, gain of just 1.
Boykin. Hate to get too excited about this guy.
Go ahead, knock yourself out. Come on.
That ball's bouncing all the way out to the perimeter. You got to get off a block, and then go make a tackle. Look at this formation.
Showing some wrinkles, saw them practice this at Faux Finotti. The tackle coming out to the left. Pass over the middle, caught by Linthicum. Hurt in the first half. Back here to the 18. First down gain of 17.
Well, that's a good call. That bubble screen's not working. Fake the bubble screen. Fake the bubble screen up here and throw the ball down the seam to your tight end. That's an excellent job by Dan Rauscher, the offensive coordinator, seeing what Georgia was doing to take away these quick bubble screens. Take advantage.
Georgia fans down this end. Welcome the Spartans to the red zone for the first time in 2012. The 18, Le'Veon Bell. Can he bounce it outside? Stiff arm and Boykin. And out of bounds to the 14, gain of 4. A lot of work to get 4 as well. Dan Rauscher, his 7th year coaching with Mark D'Antonio. All 5 at Michigan State, 2 before that at Cincinnati. He was a quarterback in his time at Northern Illinois, calling the plays for Coach D.
This is an excellent staff. All three phases, a lot of continuity, and that sure helps.
More than half the staff has been at Michigan State this entire 5-year run. For the 13, Bell, with patience and good power, too, inside the 10. First and goal, MSU.
That creative shotgun running. You're going to see left tackle Dan France pull and be the escort of Le'Veon Bell. And Bell's a 238-pound back. We think he has an excellent stiff arm. He's a great traffic runner. First and goal, Spartans.
All started with the interception by Murray. Best field position of the day, and the Spartan fans who came from the great state of Michigan rise. From the 8, number 8, incomplete, looking for Cunningham. Well covered by Sanders Cummings.
Sanders Cummings covering B.J. Cunningham on a quick out. Looked like Kirk Cousins was a little tentative in throwing this. When you throw these outside breaking patterns, the timing has to be exact. Location has to be there. That time they had neither.
Keep the towel up to the other side, can't see the signals. We asked Todd Grantham about that. He said, "You mean Slim? Slim's the guy, you know, little Slim Shady." Keeping the signals away from the opposition. Keith Nickel, the motion man. Here's Le'Veon Bell to the right. Bell at the 5. Touchdown, MSU.
That's just a big back. And finally, Boykin isn't up to the task. You know, Boykin missed a tackle in the LSU game on a counter play. That time, he struggles against Bell, the big back. One-on-one, stretch play, excellent cut block by the fullback, number 42, Todd Anderson. Springs Bell to the outside, and Michigan State's going for 2 points to try to make it a one-possession game.
7:52 left. Try to get it down to 8. A lot of options and a lot of trick things they do. Keyshawn Martin, 82. Keith Nickel, number 7. Nickel, a former quarterback. Also got B.J. Cunningham's jumping ability on a jump ball on a fade. Spartans to make it a one-possession game. Cousins, touchdown, 2-pointer, I should say, Lithicum.
Ball game, blown coverage by Georgia. Michigan State comes out in a bunch formation. 3 receivers scatter in different directions, and nobody covers. Lithicum in the back corner of the end zone.
Go green, go white. Sparty's on the board. We've got a game in Tampa.
ESPN's presentation of the Outback Bowl on ABC. Brought to you by H&R Block. Never settle for less. Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We thank the Spartan Bulldog cheering squads as well. More cheering from the gang in green and white. First signs of life after 7 straight 3-and-outs against this very good Georgia defense.
The safeties are just too wide. Field feels wide open. Linthicum didn't win. He gets so we may go right flex, go goal, and have you on a linebacker with the whole middle of the field. If you can outrun him and don't let him push you, then you win. Hopefully they're going to jump on that.
You get a little bit of why they love this kid. What a leader he is, Kirk Cousins. Kickoff return, bouncing to Boykin at the 4. Couldn't get to the outside. Spartans keep him shy of the 20. And everybody getting a little uptight here now. And a nice job by the officials to keep everybody from something that caused a flag there. Our Pacific Life game summary here in Tampa. What switched a moment ago was a first down. Oh, confusion. Receiver thought Aaron Murray was going to start running. Tavares King started blocking. Murray threw the interception. A couple of first downs picked up. Le'Veon Bell, the touchdown for the Spartans. And then the 2-point conversion to the 5th-year senior tight end, Linthicum. Again, this part of the story of this Michigan State team, for those of you who don't follow the Big Ten, It's a senior class that helped change the culture and turn this program around. But the one thing they don't have, and the other guys who are not seniors want to send this group out with, is a bowl victory. Been a decade since they beat Fresno State, and the bowl doesn't exist anymore. Richard Samuels the back, Isaiah Crowell out with the ankle injury. Samuel bouncing to the left, couldn't get there, no gain. Trenton Robinson, some play. An update now with Adnan Virk.
All right, Mike, it is the Gator Bowl on ESPN2 early in the third quarter. Ben Buchanan's punt is blocked by Chris Rainey. Graham Stewart will take it to the house. Braxton Miller and John Brantley both have touchdowns apiece. It's 21-10 to Florida early in the third. And Case Keenum putting on a show. Over 500 yards passing against Penn State's number 5 pass defense. Mike?
Wow. Another block for Pat. That's 4 block punts in his career, right behind Rainey. Samuels obliterated by Worthy. And this Michigan State tough to run on defense being heard from.
Here comes the flurry led by Jarrell Worthy, number 99. Watch him get off the block, find Samuel. Great play. Jarrell Worthy. 3rd down 11. Michigan State using a 3-down, 3-linebacker nickel package that has given Georgia problems.
Spartan faithful raise the noise level. Murray a throw. It is incomplete. Bounced before King could get it. 3-and-out Georgia.
Here comes the Spartans. They come out in this second half and they blitz. That time number 5, Johnny Adams, fires off the weak side. And you're going to see Aaron Murray feel the need to get rid of this ball quickly. Good drive by number 31 to field corner, Darquez Denard. And Michigan State's going to get great field position.
Coming after, Drew Butler got it away and got away a great kick. Wing help but a super kick. Deshaun Martin has no blocking. Doing this on his own. Martin made a 5-yard return out of it. And a nice coverage play by Costa Vabias for Georgia. 6:17 left. Michigan State keeps the ball and momentum. Made this walk before. Michael James and the Oregon Ducks walking into the Rose Bowl for the granddaddy of them all. Brett Musburger, Kirk Herbstreit have the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Oregon, Wisconsin coming up 4:30 Eastern time, about an hour and 10 minutes from now, over on ESPN. So all roads lead you to the Rose Bowl game as the Bowl Championship Series begins on ESPN. First 9 drives by Michigan State generated 2 Georgia points on a safety. Last drive they got 8 and are within 8. Cousins first down, has some time, throwing middle. What a catch. Linthicum again, the tight end. 23 on the game.
What a great catch by a big tight end. Linthicum down the seam, nods to the outside, back to the post, lays out and picks up a huge first down for Michigan State.
Jarvis Jones earlier on a touchdown run by Le'Veon Bell as they cut him. He was shaken up, and Jones not as effective pass rushing, gave a hair more time to Cousins. False start on Joel Foreman, the left guard.
67. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll remain first down.
And Jen Brown, you can add on Jarvis Jones.
Well, yeah, he came off the sideline. He actually fell to the ground. I talked to the athletic trainers. They said he sprained his left MCL. It's actually re-aggravation of an injury he had earlier in the season. They put a brace on it. He took some cuts on the sideline, and as you'll see, he's in the game right now.
Jen, he told us, redshirt sophomore, he is staying in school. Went to USC to start his career in Southern California. Neck injury, ended up not being medically cleared, back to Georgia. Star year, 13.5 sacks. Second single season mark behind our colleague David Pollock, who's back on the field as Edwin Baker carries for a couple of yards to the 45-yard line. Already more Spartan offense in this third quarter than they had in that entire first half.
And you just get the feeling it's going to fall on veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins' shoulders. There you just saw their one-back power play they're known for. Georgia stuffed it. They're going to make Kirk Cousins beat him with the passing game.
Second and 13. Cousins hit as he throws. That pass incomplete in the flat. Cornelius Washington was bringing the pressure for Georgia. Well, Cousins with that pass a moment ago to Linthicum, the tight end, passed Jeff Smoker, all-time passing yardage leader, Michigan State history, 89-54. Stanton was second on that list. Smoker went by him with his 4-year career. And now Kirk Cousins, who has most of the other all-time passing records at Michigan State, adds the yardage mark as well. Needing to get to the 32 to keep the drive alive. It's a 4-man rush. Cousins sailed on him, incomplete. As Sean Williams was back there, and he got hit as he threw.
Well, it's good pass rush. But once again, the penalty on an early down, the false start, and Michigan State's inability to run the ball with any kind of consistency, put them way behind in a down and distance. And very important in Michigan State, pins Georgia back inside their 15 right here. And they have the punter to do it. Sadler's a good one.
10 times inside the 10-yard line this year for the freshman. Left footer out of Grand Rapids. Got the bounce. Spartans got him at the 1. Let's see if they did. So it'll be 99 yards for Georgia as Curtis Drummond got down there to help out the lefty punter. Pinning Georgia.
Good heads-up football right there.
Ball doesn't break the plane. Where the ball is, not the man in college football. It's stopped at the 1. It's a long field. Good job by Sadler.
And right here is where Jarrell Worthy, Mike, gets off the ball. He'll even risk it a little bit, a 5-yard penalty. He got off against Wisconsin earlier this season in a backed-up situation. He'll do everything he can to penetrate and cause tackle for loss right here and turn this game around. Georgia got to be real careful here with play selection.
And Malcolm, the freshman, back in there, redshirt freshman. Looking for space. Max Bulla meets him. No game. That Bulla name has been around Michigan State football for so long. Hank Bulla is probably the most familiar to many fans because of his time further in football. That's his grandfather. Shane, his dad, played linebacker. Uncles, his Uncle Chuck played as well. Many years, many Spartan defenses had a Bulla, and this one's pretty good. Replaced a good player in Greg Jones.
Yes, he did.
Jones went on to the NFL and the playoff-bound Giants. After a gain of 1, seeking space, Malcolm, Trenton Robinson, close in a hurry.
I saw Georgia run this play 7 straight times to finish Georgia Tech. Michigan State has had no problem defending this power attack of the Georgia Bulldogs. Pat Narduzzi takes a lot of pride in stopping the run and setting up these obvious passing situations so he can use this 3-down pressure package that has reaped huge dividends for the Michigan State Spartans this season.
And that freak of nature, number 2, William Golston, coming off the edge. Play clock running down on Aaron Murray. Just going to run it against the 3-man front and get the first down. So Malcolm runs it, and John, it's always the question, do you get the 3-man front and play coverage? And Georgia does a great job to beat it.
Great job. You're going to see a double team on the right side, left guard. You see Gates escorting freshman Ken Malcolm right up the gut. Gutsy call on 3rd and 9 on your own 2-yard line.
Chris Norman left his gap there, number 10. Ready for the first down. Malcolm with a nice cutback run. Here comes this redshirt freshman from Decatur, Georgia. to the 33, and 2 big runs. Let the dogs breathe, a gain of 21.
Well, it's a shotgun run. You're going to see Malcolm start to his left, cut back to his right. Golston was playing the quarterback. There's nobody left for Ken Malcolm. Good cutback running. You can see why the Bulldogs are excited about this freshman, Ken Malcolm. Crowell gets all the ink, but Ken Malcolm is carrying the ball in the Outback Bowl.
Now Brandon Smith, defensive back, who had a carry in the first half for 9 yards and 11 carries during the regular season. Stands next to Murray. Goes the other way, and it's intercepted. Darquez Denard all the way home. Touchdown Spartans.
That's 2 huge second half interceptions, and Denard takes his to the house. It's just an old-fashioned trips to the field. I see Michael Bennett running into the flat. I don't know if Murray saw Denard. Denard is rolled up in the flat. He's not backing up. He just jumps his flat route, takes it to the house. I think Murray thought Denard was going to backpedal and play quarters coverage. Completely fooled by the coverage. This veteran Spartan secondary playing great.
Michigan State will go for 2 at a time. Kirk Cousins back out there. Sends Le'Veon Bell to the edge. Shovel pass. Well ran and erased. Avery Jones, the junior out of Warner Robins, Georgia. But a big play he makes to stop the shovel pass from Martin. And it's a 2-point game with 1:47 to go in the third.
Well, when you look back at the interception, it's really a 3-deep zone. Denard backpedals. He's going to backpedal and see Bennett show into the flat. He just drives it. Watch the rotation go to a 3-deep zone. Denard just recognized the pattern, jumped the flat route. Touchdown Spartans. Michigan State can beat you with their offense, their defense, or their special teams. It's an impressive second half rally, Mike.
Darquez Denard is from the state of Georgia. Twiggs County High School in Dry Branch. First full season as a starter. And Mark Richt has seen what many coaches in the Big Ten have seen. You got to have Michigan State in a good place, and all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. Big plays, turn the game around. And it's 16-14 all of a sudden. It's a big day, always a big time period for the Big Ten. Their team's trailing in all 4 bowl games right now. Michigan State in the closest one, down 2 to Georgia. Short kicks, little confusion, and Boykin able to take it is Alexander Ogletree, the fullback, who brought it to the 28-yard line. The Rose Bowl, Monty Ball walked in there last year with Wisconsin. This year he comes in with the most touchdowns in the Football Bowl subdivision. 38, one of the Heisman finalists, takes the field for Wisconsin against Oregon. Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio coming up next on ESPN. Monty Ball, 1 touchdown shy of Barry Sanders. You talk about most total touchdowns in a single season. Although in Sanders' day, they didn't count the bowl games. They didn't have conference championship games. Not taking away from Ball's accomplishment, but the rules of counting has changed significantly in college football. Still a totally shoots for here today. Richard Samuel IV carries it for a couple. Well, it was Michigan State that couldn't get out of its own way in the first half. Georgia self-inflicted wounds in the second.
He had 2 big turnovers, and both really, Murray has been fooled. Once by a receiver on his own team and once by a Spartan defender. Denard making a great play for Michigan State, but Georgia's got to weather this storm. Get something done on offense.
They have not run the ball effectively against Michigan State today. Trying to do it, Brandon Boykin He's done everything else today. Boykin runs for a first down. It was Boykin in the opener in the Georgia Dome against Boise State on the first run of his career and took it 80 yards.
Yeah, he's not coming out of the game either. Boykin on an underneath handoff, picks up his pulling guard, bounces it to the outside, gets a first down. Boykin already caused the safety, returned a punt for a touchdown. That time he just picks up a first down as a running back.
Give it to him again. At times, Spartans, we've seen enough of you two. Denzel Jerome out of Plant City down here in Florida makes the tackle. That's always a storyline when you have Big Ten teams that recruit down in the state of Florida. You come back for a bowl game.
This game means a lot to Michigan State. You don't think they're tired of hearing about all this SEC owns the Big Ten stuff? Michigan State would love to prove that they're a top 10 team today with a big win against a quality Georgia team.
Tired of hearing the facts. The SEC's been better on the field with the Big Ten. Let's see what happens in this fourth quarter with a chance to prove it. Spartans turn it around with a 14-point third quarter. 2-point game, and off we go to the fourth as the 2012 Outback Bowl continues after this message. And a word from your ABC station. John, here comes Chip Kelly walking into the Rose Bowl.
How would you like to defend 100 snaps of this offense? Chip Kelly, one of the best in college football. Going to be a great one. Wisconsin Badgers versus the Oregon Ducks. Can't wait.
98th Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Brett Musburger, Kirk Herbstreit settling in. A great view up there in the press box, the Rose Bowl. That January tradition continues over on ESPN coming up in about an hour. Fourth quarter begins here. Good game, 2-point game. 2nd and 14 for Georgia. And another tackle for loss. Chris Norman gets Brandon Smith a 7-yard loss and 12 tackles for loss in the game.
These two outside linebackers for Michigan, number 10, Chris Norman, number 28, Danico Allen, could care less what formation Georgia runs or who's in the backfield. They both have tremendous speed and playing range. Great open field tackle by Chris Norman. Third and a long way, Mike.
Need to get it over midfield. 3rd and 20. Spartan spring pressure. Here's Malcolm working towards the middle of the field. And he'll be stopped. Denzel Jerome the tackle before the punt to the studio and Adnan Burke.
All right, Mike, Capital One Bowl on ESPN, Nebraska and South Carolina. Connor Shaw hooking up with Kenny Miles. And miles to go before I sleep. 9-yard touchdown. Shaw's got 2 TDs as South Carolina is up by 10. Also, Houston is a final. They knock off Penn State and Florida all over Ohio State early in the fourth. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Adnan, the punt is away by Butler. Fair catch. Keyshawn Martin gets it at the 27. Nice job by Drew Butler, the Georgia punter, son of the legendary Kevin Butler of Bulldog kicking fame. Mark D'Antonio's bowl games. They lost to Matt Ryan and BC at the Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando by 3. One good quarterback. How about another first-ranked quarterback, Matthew Stafford, and Georgia in the 09 Capital One Bowl. Then the crazy offensive Mike Leach that he's now taken to Palouse in Washington State. They lost the Alamo Bowl to Texas Tech. Last year, an angry Alabama team led by Mark Ingram annihilated the Spartans. Embarrassing loss, 49-7. Trying to make up for that here today. Kirk Cousins. Nobody open. Seeking shelter and safety on the sideline. A lot of work for no gain.
Mark D'Antonio said to us, though, Mike, yeah, we've lost all those bowl games. But when you win 10 games, you're going to play against a good team in a bowl game. And that's what's happened to the Spartans. They've seen Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, and they're seeing a very good Georgia team today. But for the Spartans to take that next step, they need to win a bowl game for themselves.
Cunningham, Nickel, Cousins, all seniors. Bell's a sophomore. Only a gain of 2 yards.
Notice how these linebackers at Georgia just play off these big defenders up front. Ogletree again falls back and makes a beautiful tackle. Starts to his right, sees the ball, cuts back, flush in the hole, tackle by Alec Ogletree.
Michigan State injury on the field as we hit a timeout. 2 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. When I tell you it's from Steven Spielberg, his executive producer, take note. Legendary explorer mysteriously goes missing on the Amazon. Family begins a dangerous search to find him. The show's The River. The season premiere is Tuesday, February 7th. Mark your calendar, Tuesday, February 7th, 9 Eastern and Pacific on ABC. Fun bowl game, usually is. Good competition as well. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Jen Brown with you at the 2012 Outback Bowl. 3rd and 8 for Michigan State. They've rallied from down 16-0 at the half to get within 2. Georgia brings 4. Cousins throws over the middle. Keyshawn Martin, first down. Martin wrestles it just shy of midfield.
That's a great job by Cousins, stepping up in the pocket. Georgia turns the pass rush loose. You see 83, Cornelius Washington's hurt. Step up in the pocket, Kirk Cousins, and throw a strike to Keyshawn Martin, your fellow senior, who's an outstanding slot receiver. We've seen Martin return punts. Now he makes a big 3rd down reception. And Michigan State, first down near midfield.
Martin out of Inkster, Michigan, one of 5 in the FBS to score a touchdown 5 different ways this year. Ray Drew is in for Cornelius Washington. Here's a shot for B.J. Cunningham. Couldn't bring it in. He's trying to make a lot of those plays up in the air. Tight coverage from Brandon Smith.
Field blitz. They bring Brandon Boykin off the slot. They leave Brandon Smith one-on-one with B.J. Cunningham. It's crunch time officially. 4th quarter. Cunningham one-on-one. Game on the line. And Brandon Smith is up to the challenge. Great throw by Cousins. Somebody's got to step up and make a play to win this game for Michigan State on offense.
Can Georgia make an impact play on defense? Le'Veon Bell running up the middle. There's the Dogs' middle of the defense. Christian Robinson, who's in as a starter today because Michael Gilliard slowed by that ankle injury, along with Alec Ogletree forcing 3rd down.
Ogletree can do it all. He's closing in on double-digit tackles. It's a counter play. You're going to see the ball come back to the defensive left. Slippery. He gets off blocks. Productive sideline-to-sideline player, Alec Ogletree.
Brian Linthicum hurt a moment ago. Back in for the 2nd time after an injury today. Larry Paper is the back. 3rd and 10. Here come the Dogs. Cousins throws, intercepted in the flat. It's Sean Williams. Got a block. Sean Williams inside the 15.
Todd Grantham, defensive coordinator. Overload boundary blitz. And rotation comes to the side of the blitz. It's Todd Grantham. You're going to see an overload coming right here into the short side of the field, and you're going to see rotation come to the side of the blitz. And this ball's a side adjustment by Cousins. That is superb execution by the Georgia Bulldogs. Force a hot throw and cover the hot receiver. They don't do it that well in the National Football League, Mike. That's a great job by Todd Grantham and his Georgia defense.
That's what you said before, John. It's the pro concepts with these great Georgia athletes, and perfect coverage by Williams on the back end, a return of 45, and now the Dogs can go in and make it a 2-score game. And Malcolm the back never got a block from his fullback, Bruce Figgins, and Chris Norman with another tackle for loss.
Let's see if we can replay this and just listen live for ourselves. SEC versus Big Ten in the hole. That's good football.
Well, Murray took a snap and took a knee to try and force an encroachment violation. And then once Murray got hit, it led to the post-play pushing and shoving.
That's the old freeze play.
Yep, and you know, the official coming in from along the line of scrimmage, the head linesman, had his hand up saying it was a play and no game.
Teacher center to snap the ball if there's a neutral violation by the defense, and that's just what Ben Jones did.
The defender was not in the neutral zone, so there's no defensive offside. It's third down.
Take a look at it.
Sees a little bit of movement, and he went up, and nobody was in the neutral. That's a really good call as Golston rose up there, and then you have all the stuff that happened after the play. But initially you're thinking, oh, of course he's in the neutral zone. He took the snap. He wasn't there. So a wasted down, 3rd and 13. The center, Ben Jones, playing his 49th game, snaps it. The sophomore Murray throws incomplete. Tavares King fell down. 4th down.
Well, they're clearly not on the same page. Murray and King should not miss this throw. King's wide open. I don't know if he's supposed to keep coming or stop. These two young men have had a lot of conversations so far. That's the second time in key situations Tavares King and Aaron Murray have not been on the same page.
Blair Walsh, the senior, very good kicker over his history, but did miss 12 field goals this year from 32. Bangs it right through the middle. A big 3 points for Georgia as they turn the Cousins interception into 3. The 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. Just under 10 to go.
ESPN's presentation of the Outback Bowl on ABC, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. The Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And Allstate. Play the Allstate Championship Challenge. Predict what happens throughout the Allstate BCS National Championship, and you could win. Play now at allstatechallenge.com.
Great week here in Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. Entire metro area chipping in for the support. Well, glory to Georgia. They're in the timeout after the Bulldogs score the field goal to take a 5-point lead. Blair Walsh, their kicker, tied the all-time school scoring record. Along with Billy Bennett, each have scored 409 points. Their Georgia career. Now Brandon Bogache, the other kicker, the senior, will come out and kick off. He's kicked off 17 times. Big kicks to Nick Hill. Nick Hill out of Chelsea, Michigan. It's a great speedster. Almost got through the wash. I saw this kid play high school football. He is a little exciting speed back who's coming along. Took it out to the 40-yard line. Brett Bielema did this last year. Got some tunes, set the mood in the moment. The Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Played in the Rose Bowl as a lineman at Iowa. Now leads to Wisconsin Badgers. Up against Oregon, the Big Ten against the Pac-10 coming up next over on ESPN. Big Ten losing. Penn State earlier today. All 3 games going on right now. Cousins gets it to the tight end. Linthicum has a ton of room. There goes Brian Linthicum, the senior, down the sideline. Linthicum all the way to the 10.
That is impressive by Linthicum and great execution. It's a counter throwback screen to Ben Linthicum. No one would have thought this would have happened in a football game. Linthicum acts like he's blocking. He picks this screen up and off he goes with the convoy of Spartans in front of him. And look who's running them down. It's Alec Ogletree making a touchdown saving tackle. That's excellent execution by this Spartan offense. 1st and goal, Michigan State.
Gain of 51, longest of his career. Spartans from the 9. The back is Edwin Baker. There goes Baker up the middle. Only a yard here. It's a 5-point game. Still with 9 minutes left. Linthicum, who has left the game twice with injury, had his best season of his career without a touchdown this year. Mentioned in the first half, he spent his freshman year at Clemson. see his numbers buoyed by 5 catches, 92 yards today.
And with the ball on the left hash, the Spartans love to flood receivers to the field. Look at these 4 Michigan State Spartans flooded to the right side of this formation in a no-back set.
Well, a timeout. Georgia's going to try to come down and get a timeout. Mark Richt does. Talk about that formation. Figure out what to do with it with 8.5 to go in regulation. Spartans trying to take the lead. Our partner, Mr. Jaworski, is by the pool in Miami.
Yeah, he's been there.
Anxiously awaiting our arrival. We'll see Jaws down there Wednesday night. The Discover Orange Bowl, champions of the Big East West Virginia, champions of the ACC, Clemson. You like offense and spread football? You'll love it. Mountaineers and the Tigers coming up Discover Orange Bowl, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Of course, every BCS game on ESPN and ESPN Radio across the country. Out of the Georgia call timeout. 2nd and goal, Spartans. The 50th senior Cousins throwing for Cunningham. Throws it away as Brandon Smith had him blanketed.
Yeah, another fake bubble screen. Dan Rauscher, the offensive coordinator, must have seen something. They're trying to get some activity, selling these bubble screens to Keyshawn Martin and throwing it down the field to Cunningham. That time, Georgia says, we're not buying it. 3rd down and goal from the 7. Tough spot for Michigan State. They're going an empty backfield set.
Cunningham's their big touchdown man. Number 3 has caught 12 this year. Cousins has it. The rush is 4. He throws end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Keith Nichol gives the Spartans the lead.
I give these Spartans so much credit. I didn't think there was a chance they could come back and get the lead in this football game after that first half of misery. But Mark D'Antonio's Spartans have just taken the lead. And Eckel, on a sharp post pattern in the slot, gives Michigan State the lead.
2-point attempt coming, try to make it a 3-point game. Keith Nichol, who went to Oklahoma, the quarterback, did not beat out Sam Bradford. Came here to Michigan State, didn't beat out Kirk Cousins. He's turned into a big receiver. Remember, he had the great, memorable catch of the Hail Mary against Wisconsin. Other big plays during the year. 3rd Spartan attempt for 2. They were 2 for 2 in the regular season. Cousins off the corner, he's pressured. Keyshawn Martin's got nowhere to go, and the lead remains 1. Good job by Brandon Boykin and Brandon Smith for Georgia's defense.
Well, 3rd and goal at the 7-yard line. Look for number 7, Nichol, coming on your left side of the screen. Just a sharp post pattern. He goes up and gets it. He beats Brandon Smith, number 1. Just a well-thrown ball. You have a big receiver, a physical target in Nichol. Let him go get it. And I've seen Nichol. He's thrown about 100 passes here at Michigan State himself, Mike. He's a really interesting prospect at the next level. A lot of people think he could be a safety in the NFL, but Mark D'Antonio, probably one of the most unheralded coaches in college football. You got to give him credit.
You're inside out. You went the right spot. When he called the play, I thought you were going there. We had someone hard. Yeah, someone coming off there.
You can technically feel good about a throw out to your H. Because timing-wise, you can get to him, but I didn't feel there was a crowd. And I was like, I'm not throwing into a crowd.
Coach D says, hold the phone on the X and O. Give me a little high five there from his quarterback. You saw Andrew Maxwell in the shot as well, number 10. He's the quarterback who will replace Kirk Cousins next year. So this has been the star of the game. Brandon Boykin. Can he make magic happen again? Here's Boykin from the 6. The Dogs are down for the first time today. He's got nowhere to go. Tyler Ellsworth on the tackle. Pacific Life game summary. Those of you watching some of the other games, tuning over, this is the most competitive of these games leading to the Rose Bowl on ESPN. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, it was 16-0 Georgia. Michigan State had 2 first downs in the first half. Their offense was horrific. They turned it around in the 3rd quarter with a couple of Georgia turnovers, made them cash in. And after the Dogs extended the lead to 19-14, that Michigan State touchdown drive capped a moment ago. Cousins to Nichol, 20-19 Michigan State. And now sophomore Aaron Murray from playing high school in Tampa, a few miles down the road. Intercepted twice this half, takes over. His own 19. Where he throws, it's caught by Malcolm Mitchell down the sideline. Mitchell to the 36-yard line, gain of 17.
That's not an easy throw. I don't know if it's a back shoulder fade or there's a timing depth on this, but this ball's thrown perfectly to Malcolm Mitchell, just a freshman. Watch him surge up the field. Ball's thrown perfectly. Georgia does a nice job of these fly stop patterns.
Seen a half dozen different people in the backfield for Georgia today. Now Carlton Thomas, a junior, the most dependable of the bunch. Murray shakes the shoulders. Oh, a downfield strike caught by Tavares King. Tavares King inside the 20. Makes a move on Denard. Hit at the 11-yard line. Tavares King, who has set the Outback Bowl record for receiving yards, closing in on 200.
Watch this. Not only Tavares King, but what a great throw. Here's Tavares at the top of the screen. Just a stutter go on the outside, number 39. You see Trenton Robinson get beat. Great job after the catch by King.
205 receiving yards. Carlton Thomas. Denikos Allen with a knockout shot. Wow. Another tackle for loss.
King's going to get some Gatorade. 205 yards, Mike.
Not just a bowl record, a school record, any game in Georgia football history, 114 years. Most receiving yards for Tavares King, the junior out of Mount Airy. His biological dad, Anthony, a tight end at Clemson in the late 70s. Georgia trying to retake the lead in field goal range. Murray hit as he throws. It's ruled nothing right now. It's a clear ruling, ruled incomplete. Ruled incomplete on the field. William Golston with the contact.
That had to hurt. William Golston really gets off. They're blitzing. Denikos Allen with Golston, and once again a breakdown in pass protection. And if you're going to blow a protection, don't blow it against William Golston. He's 6'6", 280 pounds.
Correct call. Been a very, very well officiated game here today. Brandon Boykins, the back. The star of the day for Georgia, other than King. 3rd and 12. Look at the Boykins. Here's Boykins at the 5. Boykins in the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs. Oh, what a day.
How do you play offense, defense, and return punts 90 yards for touchdown at this level of football? We're learning a lot about Brandon Boykin. He comes right out of the backfield, and you're going to see him just surge right down the middle. No one covered him.
He has scored on a safety, as on Michigan State's very first play, he tackled Keyshawn Martin in the end zone. Then he had an Outback Bowl record 92-yard punt return for touchdown. And there catches the touchdown, second receiving touchdown of the year. Now leading by 5, Georgia will go for 2. And the back, Carlton Thomas, just came in off the sideline. Murray rolls to the right. He brought Mitchell that way. Goes to Mitchell. And they got the 2.
That's what you do. You put the ball in the left hash with a right-handed quarterback when you're going for 2, and you flood the field with wide receivers that time. Big third down, big 2-point conversion.
What a drive and a response by Georgia. Let's see what Michigan State can do. Dogs on top again. Ron Thomas and Oregon. 63 career touchdown passes. Quarterback trying to add to that number in the Rose Bowl. What a scene. You see those great helmets, uniform combos, changing uniforms at halftime. It's all part of the flash, but there's a lot of substance to what Oregon does on the football field as well. Oregon, Wisconsin. Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio coming up next over on ESPN. Coverage begins at the bottom of the hour. Kirk Cousins will try to respond to a Brandon Boykin show so far. A pop-up kickoff this time to cause some problems, and is caught and obliterated is Nico Palazzi, the fullback.
Take a look at Brandon Boykin in case you just joined us. Early in this game, he forces a safety with a great open field tackle. How about this catch on a punt return? Inside his own 5-yard line. He shows you his stuff. A 92-yard punt return. He's made tackles in the open field against big backs, and just now he comes out of the backfield on offense and scores a touchdown to give Georgia the lead.
Now trying to defend Kirk Cousins in the offense, and here they come. Le'Veon Bell with a completion out to the 36-yard line. We welcome those of you who watch South Carolina get a victory in the Capital One Bowl over in Orlando. South Carolina beat Nebraska 30-13 today. Houston beat Penn State 30-14. Big Ten trying to find a win in this early window on Jan 2 this year. Big matchups against some of the best teams in the country. This one has been tight, a very competitive second half. Keyshawn Martin looking for space to throw. He does. It's Linthicum having the day of his life in his final day in the Spartan green and white. Tackled by Sean Williams. First down.
This Keyshawn Martin, he's one of the few guys in college football that have scored 5 different ways. He can return punts. He can catch touchdown passes. He can even come in motion, accept the handoff, and throw the ball to a tight end. What a creative play. Michigan State pulling out all the stops right now.
First and 10, Michigan State trying to respond to Georgia. Kirk Cousins out of the flat. Here comes fullback Todd Anderson. Just his 6th catch as Anderson rumbles to the first down mark over by the 35-yard line. Welcome to those of you who watched the Florida Gators beat Ohio State 24-17. Here at the Outback Bowl, Georgia led 16-0. Michigan State scored all 14 of the third quarter. Moving back and forth with scores here in the fourth. The last one from a local resident, Tampa, Florida's own Aaron Murray, the Georgia quarterback, to that guy, Brandon Boykin, Fayetteville, Georgia. What a star he's been today. Le'Veon Bell carries to the 33, gain of about 3.
And watching his Georgia defense all season, they've looked at number 29, Jarvis Jones, as their closer. They've been able to get some leads. I saw them against Kentucky, against Tennessee. They get a lead, and then Jarvis Jones rushes the passer and ends your day. So far in the second half, Michigan State's done an excellent job against number 29, Jarvis Jones of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Linthicum, the tight end, in motion. He's got 110 yards today. Cousins throwing his way. There he is, stumbling out of bounds over at the 28-yard line. If you get a minute or two, or 10 minutes it'll take you, get on YouTube and go put in a YouTube search for Kirk Cousins' speech. Kirk Cousins was asked to speak representing all the student athletes in the Big Ten at the Big Ten kickoff luncheon in Chicago in August. 165,000 views, and I added one to it this morning. You need to see it. For those of you who are against college athletics and say that, no, it can't be right and done the right way, listen to this kid's words to go with his great resume on the field. Unbelievable kid. Trying to get a first down here on 3rd and 2. Cousins throws, it's deflected, Ogletree kept it alive, and the big fella Jenkins comes away with the pick. All 351 pounds of Jenkins, the beneficiary of the athleticism of Ogletree.
Yeah, they're running a wide corner route, and Alec Ogletree shows his first-round talent. This ball's going to be thrown to the corner route, and Ogletree goes up, makes a great second-effort tip play, and that's a nose tackle. John Jenkins, 357 pounds, finishing the play for the Georgia defense. Man, I'd love to see big guys get interceptions. I saw Vince Wilfork get a couple this year, Mike, for the Patriots. John Jenkins looked just as good right there. This Ogletree, been special today.
Sophomore out of Newman, Georgia. Been outstanding. 3:56 left, full complement of timeouts, Michigan State. Can they get the ball back? Murray gives to Samuel. Another tackle for loss. Michigan State will stop it again. If you were watching some of the other games, the Spartan defense, top 10 in the country in points and yards allowed, has now 16 tackles for loss today.
Well, they forced 40 sacks this season. I'm watching Jarrell Worthy, and I just miss Anthony Rashad White making another tackle for loss. They've got two outstanding interior defensive tackles, and Mark D'Antonio told us they need another one. So if you're a young prospect out there, you're looking for a place to be a defensive tackle. See, I get so excited I can't say it. You got to look into Michigan State.
Yeah, Coach D said the help wanted sign is up. You're a defensive tackle. You're wanted in East Lansing. There's a guy who ruined a little bit of the Michigan State season, Russell Wilson, quarterback of Wisconsin. They won the inaugural Big Ten championship game, so they represent the conference in the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. 15 minutes away from our coverage beginning on ESPN and working towards kickoff. Brett Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit over there. Oh yeah, Jenkins going to talk about that pick for years now. You can't stop him. John mentioned the first half, huge addition, junior college guy at the point of the 3-4 added this year. Second and 12, State brings the heat. Murray rolls it and throws it complete. Inbounds is Malcolm Mitchell. Michigan State stops it again. After the gain of 4, there's 3:46 and a really big third down. Mark D'Antonio putting all of his timeouts into this series.
Another great play by Chris Norman, outside linebacker. It's one thing to be able to play in a base defense. It's another thing to be able to play in these open formations, Mike. And in college football, the way the game is being played nowadays, you have to have outside linebackers that are big enough to stop the run and athletic enough to play in space. And Michigan State has two of those guys. Norman's one of them.
Quarterbacks have had very good days. They've thrown a couple of picks each, but their leadership and what they're doing, you have to remind yourself again and again. These are two of the elite defenses in college football. Michigan State was 5th in yards allowed. Only the Alabama and LSU defenses that you'll see a week from tonight on ESPN for the All-State BCS National Championship game gave up more yards than the Georgia defense. 3rd and 8.
Two freshman receivers at the bottom of the screen, Conley and Bennett.
Running back is Samuel. Worthy came over a little bit early. Was he induced? Nope. There's going to be an offside. No first down, but it's going to be 3rd and much more manageable.
Offside on the defense. Number 99 makes contact. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it'll remain 3rd down.
Second time we've seen this happen, Mike. You see Worthy trying to get a jump.
And you mentioned earlier in the week he's done that a bunch this season.
Seen that happen in a lot of key situations. Georgia doing a nice job with their hard count.
Jenkins, who made the pick, taken back to the locker room. Now they look over to the sideline and adjust the play from there. 3rd and 3. What a big play. Murray a throw, and it's incomplete, but a flag down as Johnny Adams was there hassling Marlon Brown. And it's going to give Georgia a first down if it's on the junior corner, Adams.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, and it'll be a first down.
Tough call against the Spartans with 3:41 to go. Gives Georgia the ball.
Marlon Brown, yeah, he's going to run a hitch, Mike. I can see that call.
Kept holding on to his shoulder as he pulled by after the initial contact. Brown's arm not free to get. So back-to-back penalties for Michigan State. And that pull of the arm is why the call was made. And that's a first down with only one timeout. And the clock stopped here for a moment at 3:30. Michigan State want to use its last timeout here? Not sure. Ed Ardito coming over to explain to Mark D'Antonio. He's going to come over and complain about the call or what? It's not going to change it.
Michigan State is challenging whether the ball was a catch or an incomplete pass.
Ball is marked at 42. The ball clearly comes down. It was an incomplete pass. Use the challenge, get a chance to get the official to come over and complain about the timeout, but you lose that timeout here. I guess that'll stop the clock back at the point that it happened. Because we're outside of 2 minutes, so a completion there would have been a first down, and then the play clock at 40, and it starts the clock. By challenging here, what you do is you burn that timeout, and then what happens on the back end, at least the clock is stopped at 3:30 where it happened. Would be the only thing I could see him doing here, using this.
I'm not criticizing any official. I'm turning over a new leaf this year.
Is that your resolution this year?
Yeah, it is. Ruffled some feathers last week. Heck,
keep doing it.
Yeah,
keep doing it.
I ain't changing. Big call in this game, though. Michigan State with 1 timeout left.
Because the pass was ruled complete, going to the ruling of incomplete will stop the clock there. So Mark D'Antonio will not, with that challenge there, if you watch the timeout situation, will not have enough timeouts to get the ball back just with timeouts and working it that way.
After reviewing the play, the pass was incomplete. Therefore, they accepted the foul for pass interference. The clock should not have started. We're going to put 3:43 on the clock, and the clock will start on the snap.
Well explained there by Ed. So even with the time back on the clock, Michigan State still in a world of hurt. They hang on to that 1 timeout because of the success of the challenge. They still have plenty of time to stop Georgia here and get the ball back on their own.
Very important that Michigan State now, after this 2 or 3 minute layoff, stuffs this early down run. You cannot give up a first down or they're in real trouble.
Richard Samuel will be the back here at 3:43. Samuel looking to cut back, and it was closed off by Marcus Rush, the redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati's Moeller High School.
And you'll see Aaron Murray use every second that he can. He'll snap this ball inside of 3 seconds. Georgia leaning on their big backs in these situations. Richard Samuel, the 4th. Remember, he's the back that closed out the Florida Gators earlier in the season. Ball security vital, and they would love to bang this ball for a first down.
Just joining us, Isaiah Crowell, the freshman, did not start, injured his left ankle in the first half. 2nd and 9. It took every second off the clock. Here goes Samuel to the right. The stout Spartan rush defense with the stop. Michigan State's going to hold that timeout here, and this one will take us with a snap at about 2:10.
Now's the call of the game. If you're offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, head coach Mark Richt, Georgia's had a lot of success throwing the ball to Tavares King. Be interesting to see if he gives Aaron Murray, highly touted sophomore quarterback, one more look at throwing the football.
Can ice the game with a first down here. It's 3rd and 8. Murray will hand it. They'll run it up the middle. Michigan State will use that final timeout when the play's whistled dead at 2:06. So it'll be a punt to the Spartans as Danicos Allen and Max Bullough make the tackle. And Michigan State will have a chance without timeouts to try to move it down the field. Aaron Murray, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In his return down the road from where he played his high school ball here in Tampa, Florida. Now Kirk Cousins, a 50-year senior, probably for his last drive as a Spartan unless there's overtime, will try to lead one more Michigan State comeback. Good matchup of quarterbacks, good matchup of defenses. It was billed as such and has delivered here in the 2012 Outback Bowl.
Anything goes in this situation if you're Mark D'Antonio. We all know he came after Wisconsin's punter in the Big Ten championship. Do not be surprised if they bring all they have in this situation.
Isaiah Lewis ran into the kicker. They go after the kicker this time. Don't get to Butler. Keyshawn Martin let it bounce. It was tough to bring in for him. So it'll be 85 yards they need to drive against the Georgia defense. You remember October 22. Clock striking right about midnight. The long ball off the face mask of B.J. Cunningham into the waiting hands of Keith Nickel. Ruled on the field that he was short and not in the end zone. But then on review, the look down the line showed that he had the ball and he broke the plane. And bedlam ensued in East Lansing as Michigan State had a dramatic win. What can they do here? No timeouts, 85 yards, $1:55 to go. Three-man rush. Cousins shot for the middle. There's Nickel. There's that man again. 15 and a first down. Clock stops to move the chains.
Great protection. They sent help to the right. Fofanotti got it versus Jarvis Jones, and now Jones is going to come to the top of the screen and work the other side.
From the 30. Slanting is Cunningham. 8 of 7. Clock spins. Minute and a half to go.
This is where you want to see Kirk Cousins. Watch him run the show. He's going to tell everybody where to line up. He'll call the play, signal it, and off he goes.
2nd and 3. Bobbles the snap. Cunningham got it. Cunningham stays in bounds. Goes to the 41. If he got out of that tackle, it was a foot race. Clock stops to move him. 1:11 left in regulation.
That's 3 great throws by Kirk Cousins. Look at him executing at crunch time. This is what he loves the most.
Final minute, Michigan State trying to tie. Cousins, Le'Veon Bell out of the backfield. Gets as much as he can, gets out of bounds. Very well executed move, John. And they've gone 47 yards efficiently and effectively.
No question. They've mixed it up with 3-step drops, 5-step drops. He's thrown the ball to 4 different receivers. And right now, Georgia needs to find their vaunted pass rush. Been awful quiet. Number 83, Washington, top of the screen. Got to find some heat.
Second and 7 for the senior. Cousins steps up into space, takes off. He's got a first down. Point now for blocks. Cousins inside the 20 and out of bounds inside the 20. Kirk Cousins trying to lead a game-tying drive in his final game in the Spartan green and white.
Play man-to-man coverage. Sometimes you don't account for the quarterback. Everybody scatters playing man-to-man coverage underneath and over the top, and Kirk Cousins not only scrambles for a first down, but he stops the clock. They've got plenty of time. Michigan State, what a drive when they needed it the most.
Brandon Boykin, 2 for Georgia, has been the star of this bowl game. Can he make the play in the red zone? The game on the line. Cousins throws. Nickel with the catch. Out of bounds at the 12 is Keith Nickel. 43 seconds remaining in regulation.
Watch how quick Cousins gets rid of this football. He catches it in the shotgun, throws it off his back foot. Perfect location. And his veteran receiving mate Keith Nickel stops the clock. But this ball's out in a hurry and it's thrown perfectly. This is a tremendous job by Kirk Cousins and his Spartan teammates.
Nickel and Keyshawn Martin go to the top. B.J. Cunningham bottom of the screen. 43 seconds left. Spartans for the tie. Cousins for Cunningham. That was a great job at the line of scrimmage by Sanders Cummings. Pass incomplete.
Yeah, Sanders Cummings rises to the challenge here against Michigan State's all-time leading receiver. Bump and run coverage. They're trying to get the fade at that outside pylon, and Sanders Cummings does a great job finding the football and pinning B.J. Cunningham into the boundary. That's good defense.
He plays to get 4 yards and a first down, or get 12 yards and a touchdown.
No back set. Had success throwing the ball to the post to number 7, Keith Nickel, earlier in this set.
Cousins fires, caught by Martin to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Spartans.
Great design by Michigan State.
This will get looked at, I'm sure, upstairs to make sure that he's in. Watch the end of the play. Knee down there, shy of the goal line. On that first look, you have to take a longer look at it. Here he goes. That knee does make contact with the ground. And we saw from that first angle he was shy of the goal line. So I think it's inside the 1 with 34 seconds left. And every play reviewed in college football.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
So Dan Blum, the replay official, buzzes down. Ed Ardito will get on the headset to confirm. Kirk Cousins can grab that helmet, get back to work. Still a yard to go.
How many plays does Michigan State have? Watch, they got an empty formation. They're going to have 4 receivers after Martin motions to the field. He's going to start to the flat and then break it back to the inside. Ball's thrown perfectly. But Michigan State, Mike, they have all the patterns. They have all the formations, and you can do this when you have a veteran quarterback like Kirk Cousins. And you got to love the way that Martin, number 82, Cunningham, number 3. You've seen Linthicum and Cousins, the way they perform at crunch time in their final game as Michigan State Spartans.
John, here's the definitive look down the line. Knee down, ball right at the 1. With 34 seconds left. It'll be a first down. The clocks would stop to move the chains, but then the game clock would start when they're ready to go. 4 plays from a yard out. If what we see there is what Dan Blum, the replay official upstairs, is telling Ed Ardito he has. Cousins 6 of 7 on the drive, 65 yards, a touchdown pass, and a 20-yard run to get a first down as well. And here's Ed Ardito.
After review, the runner's knee was down prior to crossing the goal line. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. It'll be a first down for Michigan State.
And the Spartans will have enough time on the clock to run it one time if they want to hand it to Le'Veon Bell, their big 240-pound back. They can kill it if they don't make it. Be interesting to see this.
All right, here we go. It starts on the ready to play. First and goal from the 1. Le'Veon Bell didn't get a clean exchange, but a flag comes down. Boy, what a big penalty this would be with no timeouts, 26 seconds left. And a flag coming in from the line judge watching the side there.
Got a little face mask.
During the run, personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 19. Half the distance to the goal, replay, first down.
So we go to the half-yard line.
They're going to move that ball closer to the goal line.
Thought they would. Let's see. There we go. Yep.
With a quarterback sneak here, if the Spartans run it, they do have time to kill it if they don't make it.
Timeout taken by Georgia. Well, the foul happened behind the line of scrimmage, so Jerry Austin, who is the Conference USA supervisor of officials and was the referee for 2 Super Bowls, joins us here up in the booth. And just on the administration of that, why it gets moved half the distance to the goal there, Jerry.
The runner was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, so it's half the distance from where he was tackled since it's a defensive foul. and that moved it back to the 1 yard line.
1 yard line.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerry. Great having you here. Jerry was
Great to be here.
2 Super Bowls. See, John was starting to do you were the referee up
Good to
here.
see you
Happy
again,
to see
Jerry.
Hey, it's good to see you, John. John was always a great coach to work with on the sideline.
Nice of you to say, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Good to have you up here. So it's 1st and goal inside the 1 with 26 seconds left. This is the way Michigan State games have been the last couple of years. Tight and taut against the good teams to the finish. Can Georgia make a stand from a half-yard away? Going to throw to Cunningham? Yes, incomplete. Covered by Cummings. 22 seconds remain. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, that's great design by Michigan State. They bring Cunningham in short motion and try to change the corner's coverage mechanics. They had it.
I'll remind you, over on ESPN, coming up, kickoff about 20 minutes or so away in the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Wisconsin and Oregon, the pregame coverage underway with Chris Fowler and company. Game to kick shortly. 2nd and goal. Spartans another chance. Movement up front early. Went to the quarter and went to the quarter-yard line.
Offside. Defense, number 29 was in the neutral zone. It's a half the distance to the goal. It'll remain 2nd down.
Jarvis Jones anticipating.
Yeah, you look out there in that Georgia lineup, number 99, they don't get bigger than Kwame Gathers.
Remember, John Jenkins was taken off to the locker room after he made the interception earlier, the regular nose guard. So Gathers is over the center now. 2nd and goal, Spartans. Le'Veon Bell, contact, keeps fighting, and he's in for the touchdown, MSU.
That's what they did. They went to their bread and butter power play. And Le'Veon Bell says, that's why I'm here at Michigan State as a 240-pound feature back. Give it to me when the game is on the line in an inches situation, and I'll score. Right off the right side, they use their all Big Ten foreman at left guard as the escort, and that's good hard running by Le'Veon Bell.
Dan Conroy's made every extra point this year. Missed only one in his career to tie the game. The snap was low. What a job by the holder. And the kick is good. Brad Sontag did a superb job of getting the ball down. He's a 5th-year senior, part of that very first recruiting class at D'Antonio's out of Saginaw, Michigan. In just his first year as the holder, watch the job he does. That is good stuff. We are 19 seconds away, thanks in part to the hold by Sontag, from the 3rd overtime in the history of this bowl game. That was some drive with no timeouts, 85 yards down the field.
Well, that's a drive of the ages. Michigan State, when they need it the most, turn to their 3-time captain, Kirk Cousins. He finds 3 different wide receivers, and then he uses his tight end to set up a touchdown here at the end of regulation. But Cousins did it with his legs as well, scrambling for a first down, managed the clock perfectly. Keyshawn Martin down to the 1-foot line, and Le'Veon Bell, the 240-pound sophomore tailback, ties it. Great football.
Now you've got Brandon Boykin back, the star of this bowl game, waiting to get his hands on it one more time, and here he is at the 5. He scored on safety, on a reception, on a punt return. He's brought down here at the 22-yard line. 13 seconds and 1 timeout for Georgia. The long field goal. Aaron Murray's able to take a shot down the field and get in field goal position. The long field goal for Blair Walsh was a 56-yarder against Coastal Carolina. That would necessitate getting the ball to the 39-yard line. So they need 38 yards in 13 seconds with 1 timeout.
I think they're going to just take a knee, Mike.
Why not? We've had 2 other overtimes in Outback Bowl history. Start the decade on Jan 1, 2010. Auburn Northwestern, that fabulous game. Mike Kafka threw it 78 times in that game. Remember that? And then the Dogs in Purdue, when Georgia rallied from down 25-0 against Drew Brees and the Boilermakers. Refreshing the overtime rules, we'll have the coin toss and the choice. Everyone takes defense first. We get a top and the bottom of the inning. Each team gets a possession. No game clock, only the play clock. And if we go to a third overtime, you have to go for 2. Kirk Cousins got it all under control, and so does Murray on the other side, too, with Georgia. One's a senior, one's a sophomore, 2 very similar and strong leaders.
You have to really be impressed with the way these 2 teams played, particularly with the long layoff, Mike. There's always a concern about teams that lose their championship game, that go to play in a bowl game, that are a little lackluster because of that feeling after a defeat. But these 2 teams, they look as excited as I've ever seen.
Well, that's the team that came back from down 16, and now the Georgia side, some of their players are trying to get their guys rallied up to do the same. But clearly the momentum on the team that came back, side of the team that came back from down 16-0, and Georgia hanging their heads a little bit. Kirk Cousins, an NFL quarterback, John?
I don't think there's any question. And I was at that Manning passing camp this summer, and he was there with about 30 of the top quarterbacks from around the country, and he's got as many physical skills as any of the other guys. He really does.
Ed Ardito, our referee.
Okay, the visiting team gets to call the toss, all right? The winner's going to have a choice of going on offense, defense, or choosing an end. Offense, defense, or an end, okay? So Michigan State, you're the visitors. There's your head, there's your tail. What are you going to call? Tails. He's going to call tails, guys. The call is tails. Here we go. It is a head. Georgia, you want to play defense. Which end of the field? You want to play down that end. Okay, very good. Georgia won the toss and elected to play defense. We'll put the ball in play, first down on the 25 at the south end zone for Michigan State.
All right, so the Spartans with the ball first. In overtime, and the Outback Bowl coming your way after these messages and a word from your ABC station. Back at the Outback Bowl in Tampa. John Gruden and Jen Brown, Mike Tirico. Overtime, first time for these teams this year. And the 3rd time in the 26-year history of the Outback Bowl. Michigan State starts on offense. From the 25, Cousins will give to Le'Veon Bell. Up the middle, and he's tied up by Avery Jones, who had a big play earlier on a 2-point conversion, a gain of 3.
And Michigan State having more success running the football. There's that one-back power with the built-in bubble screen we've seen all week. I think Michigan State's going to throw it right here with trips to the right side of the formation. Spartans love to throw it here.
All seniors over here with Cunningham and Nickel and Martin. Pressure up the middle. Swinging it out for Bell, incomplete as Cousins had to hang in there and take a shot. Jarvis Jones.
Well, look where he comes from, Mike. I mean, they weren't getting pressure off the edge, so let's bring him right up the middle. Double A gap blitz right up the middle. Number 29, Jarvis Jones. Hey, if I can't beat your tackle, I'll come right up the middle. And that's the beauty of this scheme. Huge 3rd down for Michigan State. This is where Georgia has relied on pressure throughout this game on 3rd and long.
Field goal from here is just under 40 yards with the wind at their back. Adjusting the protection up front of the line. Here's the senior Cousins. Pressure off the edge. He throws. It's intercepted and taken away by Bakari Rambo. Rambo brought down to the 26-yard line. So now with a flag on the back end of it, now Georgia will have a chance to win the game with points.
Sanders Cummings, it's pressure. See what the penalty is first, but Sanders Cummings comes on a short corner blitz just like they did earlier in this football game. May create another turnover.
Post play after the interception, it was contact. It looked like a late hit. Rambo was hoping to score and end the game with a defensive score in overtime. Now the administration of this flag after the play, very important. Determining when it happened, number one. And here's Ed Ardito.
During the return, we had a personal foul on number 36 on Georgia. By rule, that penalty is automatically declined. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Georgia at the 25.
Automatic decline because it's after the interception, so possession has changed hands, so that foul doesn't change who would get the ball. It's Georgia ball, no points at the top of the first OT.
Well, Sanders Cummings is going to come off the short side of the field. He's not going to be blocked. And it's just a great job by Georgia blitzing and playing zone coverage behind the blitz. And when you have a veteran safety like Rambo, that's when they flourish the most. Rambo has 13 interceptions. He's made a living playing in this blitz-happy scheme of Todd Grantham. He's got a tough decision. Should he turn pro or come back to Athens next year? If all these Bulldogs come back, they'll be a top 5 team, I think, Mike.
He's a ball-hawking safety who has said, I used to be a hard hitter, now I've turned into a ball hawker back there. And he, like many of the other players we've talked about today, will make that decision. Now, all Georgia needs is a field goal to get the win.
And I expect Michigan State to be very aggressive, knowing that, trying to knock the Bulldogs out of field goal position. And look who's in the game at running back for the Bulldogs. Carlton Thomas, all 162 pounds of him.
5'7". Thomas gets the handoff. The convoy to the left on an open field. Contact made by Isaiah Lewis. Strong safety out of Indianapolis's Ben Davis High School.
They have all these young backs at Georgia, and I think Thomas is the guy they trust the most. Picking up blitzes, handling audibles, carrying the ball or catching it. And I'd be surprised if Mark Richt doesn't hand the ball off again, given the fact that they are in field goal position and a field goal wins this game for the Bulldogs.
Mark did tell us yesterday, John, this is my most dependable back. Carlton Thomas started that SEC championship game. Just going to get right to the middle of the field here, and from here a field goal is 43 yards, and they're going to go for it on 3rd down and bring out Walsh. Interesting decision here. Don't want to mess around anymore. Go to Walsh, who his sophomore year won a game against Arizona State. He has a chance to take the all-time Georgia points record on his final kick as a Bulldog. He's missed 12 this year. Michigan State has a timeout to ice him, and they'll use it before the attempt by Walsh.
Walsh has had an up and down year this year, Mike. 2 years prior to this, he only had 5 misses combined, but
yes,
he's had a dozen misses this year. And Michigan State has the perfect man to block this kick. Either Golston, number 2, or 99 Worthy. Both have a knack for blocking kicks.
So many great college programs, and Georgia's right there with them. It's about family and tradition of generations over the years. The snapper is Ty Fricks. His dad, Mitch, snapped for Kevin Butler, one of the great kickers in Georgia history. Here you see Ty. And Kevin's son, Drew, the punter, is the holder. So a lot of Georgia history and connections. And Kirk Cousins hoping that his last play as a Spartan was not an interception.
There's Worthy, 99. 98, Anthony Rashad White. They're going to push right up the middle.
42 yards for the win on the way, and it is wide right. No good, and the game goes on. He had missed 5 field goals from between 40 and 49. So the decision just to center it in the middle of the field, not get further down the field on 3rd down, cost them scoreless overtime. Number 2 after this. A reminder coming up, ESPN already underway with its coverage of the 2012 Rose Bowl game, presented by Vizio. Game hasn't kicked yet, going to in a few minutes. It's Oregon and Wisconsin. Kickoff at 5:10 Eastern time, so about 16, 17 minutes away. Glad you're spending that time on the way there with us. Mark Richt's kicker missed a field goal that would have won the Outback Bowl for Georgia. They get the ball on offense first after a scoreless first overtime. Tampa, Florida's Aaron Murray went to high school 4 miles from here. He's loading up. Downfield from Malcolm Mitchell. Incomplete with Johnny Adams step-for-step covering.
This is great coverage by Johnny Adams. He got flagged earlier in this game, but Malcolm Moore going on a corner route against one-on-one coverage, and Johnny Adams does an excellent job, I think, at the end of the play. Wow, good tight coverage. No huddle offense. Murray getting this play from the sideline. Watch Max Bulla, the middle linebacker of Michigan State. He'll counter with an audible of his own.
They've been at it like this. It's been a part of 3.5 hours. This play killed.
False start.
False start on the offense. Number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it'll remain 2nd down.
And now a kicker who's missed from 42. If they don't gain any yards, we'll have to make a 47-yarder. And now we're going, for the most part, into this north wind, 10 to 15 miles an hour.
You got to credit Worthy, Rashad White. They haven't slowed down. They played a lot of snaps for big players today.
You're right, John. Worthy's done pretty well today. 2nd and 15. Aaron Murray from the 30 as Golston coming in. He got brought down. Murray keeps the play alive on the roll. Just going to get out at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up. No gain. Good defense by the Spartans.
Well, they're running a double move to freshman Malcolm Mitchell. He's going to run a hook and go, and Isaiah Lewis says, I'm not buying it. It's going to be on the other side of the screen, on the left side of the screen. But they tried to get Malcolm Mitchell, number 26, on a double move. You'll see it right here. And Isaiah Lewis wheeled nicely to cover it.
Got to get some yards here for Georgia. 3rd down. The back is Carlton Thomas. Big play, Marlon Brown in the slot. Nearly intercepted as Darquez Denard was in front of Tavares King. And we will have a 47-yard into the wind field goal attempt coming up here.
Well, it's a 4-deep zone. You're going to see a 4-deep zone, and the Spartans run overload pressure with it. So Murray has to get rid of the football. And again, it's just good, solid defense. Darquez Denard, good zone recognition, big field goal right here. Walsh needs to redeem himself.
Georgia for the lead. Blair Walsh, 47 on the way, hooking it in. Good kick. Great to see a senior not end his kicking career on that missed field goal.
That was a great kick right there.
Sure was. So they lose 5 yards, and those who are critical of the college football overtime rules, we had this fodder to your argument. Where 3 plays, lose 5 yards, still get a chance to score points. Kirk Cousins on that last drive. We've been looking at his hand during these 2 possessions for Georgia. I believe he may have cut his hand. He's coming back in there for this last drive. So Walsh, the kicker, one senior, almost had his career end on a missed field goal, but he got a chance at redemption. Cousins threw an interception. Now he gets a chance at redemption. He gets a chance to win the game. First bowl win in the Mark D'Antonio era. And for these seniors, if they can score a touchdown. Cousins throws. Keyshawn Martin, first down, 13-yard line. Gain of 12.
Boy, that time Martin just runs a quick out, and Brandon Boykin, the field corner, gets caught in a run-out technique. Watch Boykin run out of there. Ball's thrown quickly to the outside. I thought Martin's knee might have gone down there, Mike. Good call by the official.
John, it was seen upstairs, too. I think they're going to check it in replay.
It will be reviewed. Ruling on the field is a catch.
See if Martin's knee was down when he had possession of the ball.
Clearly down. Looks like to me, Mike.
Yep, I think you're right. They'll bring the ball to the 18-yard line. Yep, right there. Nice job, guys.
Look out in that huddle at Michigan State. These Spartan offensive linemen. I see these guys doing this every week. They just love football. You look out there, number 62, Chris McDonald, Foreman, number 67. This offensive line's come a long way in the last 7 or 8 weeks. And they've taken this game over, I think, in the second half, Mike. They've done a great job blocking these Bulldogs for the most part.
This was an offense held under 75 yards in the first half. And had only 2 first halves. Had 7 consecutive 3-and-outs, did Michigan State's offense. Late first half, early second half, and then spun around with an interception. The opportunity to take the game over. He saw the lead here a couple of times, John.
Yeah, Mike, and I really think the winner of this game potentially is a top 10 team. So there's a lot at stake, I do believe. These two teams want to finish in the top 10. I said earlier, both teams had a chance to really finish this season with a lot of glory. This is a big call right here, this replay challenge.
Probably lose 5 yards on the reversal here.
After reviewing the play, the receiver's knee was down on the 18-yard line. So we'll bring the ball back to the 18-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 on the 18-yard line.
We've credited Ed Ardito and this crew. Dan Blum upstairs, replay official, has done a nice job this afternoon here as well. 2001, last time Michigan State won a bowl game. Beat Fresno in the Silicon Valley Bowl. Only went to 1 bowl in a 5-year stretch. Now they've become bowl regulars. And last year they got their heads handed to them by Alabama. An SEC big-time beatdown, 49-7. You're trying to get a bowl victory. That's Garrett Selleck. Backup tight end in motion. Cousins looking. Just threw it away as Linthicum was blanketed. Christian Robinson, the linebacker, and then the DBs in coverage as well.
Right now, Michigan State has 3 tight ends on the field, just 1 wide out and 1 back. And here comes the veterans. Number 7, who scored earlier, Keith Nickel. Number 82, Keyshawn Martin, back in the game, and feature back Le'Veon Bell. Michigan State has quads, 4 receivers to the field.
It is 3rd and 3 for Cousins. Moves the pocket, throws it towards the end zone toward Nickel. Good coverage, and the pressure made the difference there. Again, Jarvis Jones. So Michigan State on 2nd and 3 and 3rd and 3 didn't choose to run the ball with Bell, threw it both times, and now a field goal attempt to tie the game.
Yeah, Jones gets off in the bottom of the screen and beats Dan France, the left tackle from Michigan State.
So it's on the foot of Dan Conroy, 2nd year as the Spartan kicker. Out of Wheaton, Illinois, Mark Richt has a timeout. He'll use it to let the junior think about his 35-yard potential game tire to send us to a 3rd overtime. Well, no matter what happens in this overtime, I think it's a pretty clear vote for who was, in our eyes, the standout player of this game. Made plays all over the field for Georgia. Started the game on Michigan State's first offensive snap with a safety as he tackled Keyshawn Martin in the end zone. Then the longest punt return or longest play in Outback Bowl history, Brandon Boykin, a 92-yarder, and then a reception touchdown. And so Brandon Boykin, the senior, is our Capital One player of the game. One man who thought he'd be a star. He has mom practice with him, interviewing him with a pencil, replacing the microphone. Well, he'll be interviewed a lot about his performance in this bowl game.
Don't lose sight of the fake if you're Georgia. Reminder, Michigan State capable of anything. These special teams play.
Conroy hasn't had a game-winning attempt in his career. This is to tie the game. It's 35 to force a third overtime. Last snap was bad. This one's okay. Kicks on the way. And we're on the way to OT number 3. So 2 overtimes, 6 points. Shutout in the first one. A couple of field goals here in the second one. And a heck of a job on the hole by Sontag. We're tied at 30. Well, congratulations to Jim McVeigh, the president and CEO of this Outback Bowl, and everyone associated with it. They put on a great week, and the 2 teams they invited put on an even better game.
Yes, they have.
30-30 overtime number 3. Georgia with the choice, so they play defense. Cousins and the Michigan State offense start with it. To score a touchdown now, you have to go for 2. Cousins tried the slant. Incomplete. Le'Veon Bell couldn't get to the spot where Alec Ogletree's been hanging out all day long.
Using Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different roles in this second half, trying to get him to impact this football game. That time, slant route well played. Ogletree, he's been everywhere tonight.
Reminder, the Rose Bowl game a few minutes from kicking off over on ESPN as Oregon and Wisconsin set to take the field in Pasadena. 2nd and 10. Here comes Bell to the right. Did he get past Ogletree? Yeah, but the pursuit still came with Sanders Cummings, and that tells you what kind of back Le'Veon Bell is. He took Sanders Cummings at 6'2", 217 for a 4-yard ride.
Going to see penetration off the right side. Ball's going to bounce to the outside. He gets away from Ogletree. Here comes Sanders Cummings, and he holds up Bell long enough until his teammate Rambo can clean up the pile. Sanders Cummings has had a nice day today.
Sure has. Sanders Cummings, West Side High School in Augusta, 2 miles away from Magnolia Lane where they play the Masters.
A lot of pressure so far into the short side of the field. Keep an eye on that boundary pressure at the bottom of the screen.
Timeout taken here by Michigan State. You get 1 timeout per overtime. The timeouts do not carry over to subsequent OTs. 3rd and 7 coming up here. It's turned cooler. Mentioned a cold front came through yesterday, or overnight really. It was in the 70s all week. It's in the 60s during the game, and now that the sun has started to go down and the cool north wind is blowing, it's in the 50s. At least it feels that way right now. Well, we continue to remind you of the Rose Bowl. Look at that great setting there in Pasadena. They just had the stealth bomber fly over. One of the great scenes in all of sport. Field perfectly manicured, the colors, the pageantry. The great Rose Parade you saw before us here on ABC. And then the game itself. Granddaddy of them all. Just about set to kick off on ESPN. And as soon as we're done here, you can enjoy that.
Another no-back set. You like these open formations. The only question you have when you don't have a back in the backfield is, can you block Jarvis Jones in this Georgia pass rush with no help?
3rd and 8 from the 23. Linthicum, the tight end, has had a career day, comes in motion, shows Cousins what they're doing. Here's Kirk with the snap. He throws to Le'Veon Bell, who got the first down. So they go to Bell, a good receiver. John mentioned it earlier. He's 3rd on this team in pass receptions.
Well, they blitzed from the field, and they chose not to drop number 29, Jarvis Jones. And they throw a little smash route right out there to Le'Veon Bell. Good work.
Bell's day, 79 yards, 2 scores. And the 14, this will be the 79th play the Spartans run today. 51 of them have been passes. They've come back from down 16-0. And there goes Bell up the middle at the 8-yard line. I would have done it down there when they had 2nd and 3. I keep banging him. Run Bell.
Boy, Georgia looks tired now, and Michigan State runs right behind Joel Foreman, number 67, who started as many games as any offensive lineman in Spartan history. Remember, John Jenkins, the nose tackle, is not playing for the Bulldogs. Gathers number 99 has taken his place, and right now, Michigan State's taking it right to the teeth of Georgia's run defense.
4 for the first down, 8 for the touchdown. Here comes Linthicum in motion. Another blocker for Bell. What a tackle by Ogletree.
All right, this Bell has a great straight arm. And Ogletree makes another superb tackle, but watch the straight arm from Le'Veon Bell. This is a powerful back, number 24. A heck of a tackle by Ogletree.
Not the first time they've met today.
I might have to give it to him again. I really think Bell is feeling it right now.
6'2", 237 out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Quick snap, Cousins, play action, in the flat. Martin couldn't catch it. Oh! Keyshawn Martin had a first down. Maybe a touchdown.
Would have been him and Rambo at that front pylon. Hard play action fake to Le'Veon Bell. And they try to leak Keyshawn Martin out in the flat. Wasn't a perfect throw, but I've seen Martin catch those all year for the Spartans.
Dan Conroy, Brad Sontag, the holder's done a good job. It's a new snapper for this game, Steve Moore. Matt Giampapa was suspended, the regular snapper. Moore has had 2 shaky ones, and we have a flag. No timeout, but a flag is thrown here.
Delay a game. Offense number 4. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it remains 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 7. Giampapa, the freshman, who's been the snapper most of the year, was suspended for violating team rules. So Steve Moore, the redshirt sophomore, who has seen a bit of action early in the year, very close in their battle for the job, but he lost it. Moore has been the one snapping here today. Let's see how this one is. Sontag had a tough time getting it down. And Conroy able to knock it through. 33-30. Georgia with a touchdown wins the Outback Bowl.
Those hash marks make kicking very difficult. I think the closer you get to the goalpost. I'm not so sure they didn't take that 5-yard delay game penalty just to improve the angle of the kick, and it's another great hold. I'll tell you what, we might want to rethink the player of the week, player of the game here.
Sontag. Well, that one was a better snap. He's just waiting for the ground ball. Now he got the high, hard one. Get down there and knock it through. So pressure kicks a couple of times here for Dan Conroy from Wheaton, Illinois.
Well, Orson Charles, the tight end from right here in Tampa, Florida, Tampa Plant High School, been awful quiet. Outstanding receiving tight end. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try to find Orson Charles down the seam.
Michigan State's done a good job on Charles. Just 1 catch, 2 yards for a guy with NFL prospects, junior. Aaron Murray in his hometown. Touchdown, wins the game. Sophomore sets. He takes a shot, incomplete. As the pass was intended toward Marlon Brown. The coverage from Trenton Robinson forces 2nd down.
And we thought Trenton Robinson wasn't going to play. It's a good thing he did today for Michigan State, because that's the 5th time we've called his name out in key situations. The senior, all Big Ten, captain of this outfit, really playing well today.
Violation of team rules, didn't start, was on the field during that first drive, only out for a play or 2. 2nd and 10. Georgia's missed a field goal already in overtime. Field goal to keep it going. Touchdown to win the game. Murray with time, it's deflected, and it's almost intercepted. Would have been the game winner. Marcus Rush dropping back in coverage, got a hand on it. Now we have 3rd down coming up.
Well, they come after Aaron Murray with double A-gap pressure, and watch number 30, Carlton Thomas, come through here and cut down this blitzer, Mac Boa. Ball's just thrown into a zone blitz coverage, and you got to give credit to number 44, Marcus Rush, a defensive end, buzzing to that curl zone.
Underway in Pasadena. Rose Bowl has begun as we wrap up here in Tampa. 3rd overtime. who plays no yards. Murray, look out from behind. He's sacked by Golston. Back at the 30, so a field goal is going to be about 47 yards with the wind at his back to try to keep the game alive.
William Golston saving the best for last. Number 2. He's beaten number 72 Gates at left guard, and Golston's done it all day long here in Tampa, Florida. 47-yarder, Mike.
Blair Walsh to send us to a 4th overtime. It is blocked. It is blocked. Spartian, Michigan State sends its senior class out with a bowl win.
I think it was worthy right up the middle. Might have been Anthony Rashad White, but penetration right up the gut. Watch it.
It was Rashad White who got the hand. It's all taped up in there. It's getting another look. Yep, got the big mid up there.
You take this in big, Mike. Down 16-0 at halftime. Michigan State finds a way to get Mark D'Antonio his first bowl victory, and they sent out their 3-time captain, Kirk Cousins, with style.
And not just Cousins, too. An entire senior class that changed the culture in East Lansing. And a program that has to battle Michigan in-state and Ohio State, Notre Dame in recruiting. And some of the great programs of all time. He's gotten back in the right direction thanks to that group of seniors. Some big plays made throughout, especially that young man who represents student athletes as well as anyone in the country, Kirk Cousins. Our final score in triple overtime, Michigan State 33, Georgia 30. The Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio is underway on ESPN with John Gruden, Jen Brown, and our entire crew. Mike Tirico saying goodbye from Tampa. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Thanks for enjoying a terrific Outback Bowl. And start your new year right here on your ABC station.